die for the Edmonton Oilers. Win and get in for the Vancouver Canucks. And a Western Conference Finals appearance on the line. Should Vancouver win, they travel down to Dallas, Texas to face the Stars in the Western Conference Final. Should Edmonton win, Game 7 will be at Rogers Arena on Monday. It's been back and forth in the series. Every game has been decided by one goal. The team that scored first in this series has only won once, that being Game 4, the Edmonton Oilers. This postseason, Connor McDavid, 2 goals and 14 assists in the wins, just 2 assists in the losses. Another goaltending change just came up for the Oilers, that being Stuart Skinner, now slotting in the place of Calvin Pickard. Pickard did his very best in keeping the Oilers afloat. Game 4, getting them the victory. Game 5, doing everything he can. Skinner is 5-3 in the postseason this year. However, that's in spite of his goaltending stats. .322 GAA, .877 save percentage. Pickard, despite being 1-1, he has a .222 GAA, .915 save percentage, which is a head-scratching decision by Chris Knobloch to go back to Skinner here in Game 6 when Pickard was clearly the better of the 2 goaltenders. And hello, one and all, I am Alec Nava. Welcome on board Game 6 of the Western Conference Semifinals. It's the only series that is alive here in the semifinals in the conferences. Every other series has already been decided. The Florida Panthers defeating the Boston Bruins in 6. The New York Rangers defeating the Carolina Hurricanes in 6. And the Dallas Stars defeating the Colorado Avalanche in 6. JT Miller tied for the team lead in Vancouver for the most points with 12. Fans were chanting his name when he scored the go-ahead goal with 31.9 seconds remaining in Game 5. He and Brock Besser each have 12 points, with Besser having 7 goals. A postseason to remember for him, but also a postseason to remember for Artur Shilovs, who was the first-string goaltender entering the postseason, but after injuries to Thatcher Demko and Casey Smith, he rose to the occasion in Game 4 against the Nashville Predators, and that's been his crease ever since. We go into the keys of this game, and first up, the most important one, the wild card of wild cards for Edmonton, Stuart Skinner. They're taking the last stand with him, their number 1 goaltender throughout the regular season, the first 8 games of this postseason. He was 36, 16, and 5, 2.62 GAA, 905 save percentage in the regular season, but was replaced by Pickard after the second period of Game 3, in which Edmonton lost 4-3. Pickard started games 4 and 5. Though Skinner is said that he's excited to get back in the net. And he continued it on, and I quote, "Any type of situation like that, it's difficult. I've been working on my mental game for a long time here. It's just another experience where I got to work on some more stuff mentally." He became the undisputed top goalie when Jack Campbell was assigned to the Bakersfield Condors of the AHL early on in the season, back in November 7th. And Skinner started a career-high 57 games this season. Connor McDavid added on to Skinner, "I finally got back to work. Not to say that he wasn't working hard before, but I saw him watching some video and working hard at practice and stuff like that. So whenever he's doing that, I expected to play well." For Vancouver, they need to have the closing mentality heading into this game. He had 2 games to eliminate the Nashville Predators in the first round after going up 3-1 in the series. Didn't do so in Game 5 at home and had to return to Nashville for Game 6. They advanced with a 1-0 victory, the only goal being from Pius Suter, with 1:39 remaining. Rick Tocchet says team can learn from those 2 games. And I quote on what he said, "I think you can always have experiences where you can draw from." He tried to give a little bit of wisdom. You talk to certain guys, we talk to a few groups of guys, and I think it's important that you share some stories in these kinds of situations and how you deal with them. For me, it's always short term. Your first shift, your first period. You can't think of anything else. You start letting things in your head, you start playing on your heels, and you're watching, you're pausing. I think you just have to worry about your first shift and your first period. And as for Edmonton, they have to bounce back. He had game-winning goals late in regulation and an overtime heroic. He had a comeback in this series, that being the Canucks. In Game 1, down 4-1, they won 5-4 in regulation. Nikita Zadorov, the tying goal. Connor Garland, the go-ahead goal. The Oilers, they looked tired in Game 5. They were outshot 35-23. Spent most of the second and third periods defending. They were over 5 on the man advantage in that frame. In that game, the first time they had not scored a goal on the man advantage in 10 playoff games this season. And they need to have belief around. The first 7 games, McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice, 5 goals. But in the last 3 games, 3 goals against. So 5-0 in the first 7 games at 5-on-5 with both Connor and Leon out there. But 0 for 3 between the goals and goals against differential when Connor and Leon are on the ice. So something has to be shifted up. So they have made some line changes, both of them, for the potential closeout or elimination game. So Edmonton, if Edmonton can get back on their groove, they'd be going on to a Game 7. We had some overtime heroics, that being Evan Bouchard, who has first of 2 game-winning goals in overtime of Game 2. He had another game-winning goal with 40 seconds remaining in Game 4. Miller with 31.9 left in Game 5. For Vancouver, 9 straight games have been decided by 1 goal. They hope to have that trend not to continue heading into Game 6 because this may be heart attack territory for all their fans. If there's any indication about the series, went 5-4 Vancouver, 4-3 Edmonton, 4-3 Vancouver, 3-2 Edmonton, 3-2 Vancouver. One could guess, easier said than done, that Edmonton will win 2-1 tonight, that Vancouver wins 2-1 in Game 7 Monday. Hasn't happened yet though, but we have yet to see what is to come onto the ice. So we'll get our starting lineups where we begin with the visiting Vancouver Canucks. Top line begins with Piers Suter, JT Miller, and Brock Besser. Second line, they made some key changes. They put Elias Pettersson on the wing and shifted Elias Lindholm up to the second line center position. Niels Höglander continues to be the wing on the second line on the other side. Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland remain the wings on the third line. Teddy Blueger's been shifted up to the third line center. Fourth line is Phil DiGiuseppe, Nils Aimann, and Vasily Podkolzin. By the way, congratulations to the DiGiuseppe family, welcoming in their new child onto this world. DiGiuseppe scores first career playoff goal in Game 5. Quinn Hughes and Philip Hronik man the top pair. Carson Soucy and Tyler Myers on the second pair. Soucy at the first goal for Vancouver in Game 5. Nikita Zadorov and Ian Cole on the third pair. Artur Shilovs. It's this crease now for Vancouver, and it continues to be so. Casey DeSmith is the backup. Thatcher Demko remains out. They said originally that he'll be out until at least Game 4 of this series. We don't know how long he's truly going to be out. Healthy scratches are Mark Friedman, Noah Jolson, Linus Karlsson, Sam Lafferty, Ilya Mikheyev, and Christian Wolanin. For Edmonton, we now get to their lineups. Though Mikheyev has been nursing an injury, and he has not returned since. 10 games played for the postseason for Mikheyev, but now he's out of the lineup. For the Oilers, their projected lineup goes like this. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, Dylan Holloway, Leon Draisaitl, Evander Kane, Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, Corey Perry. Adam Henrique continues to be out with his injury. He has missed the entire series up to this point. Matthias Janmark, Derek Ryan, Connor Brown on the fourth line. You start the defensive pairings. Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard. Second pairing is Darnell Nurse with Vinny Desharnais. And to round out Brett Kulak with Cody Ceci. Source Skinner gets his crease back in Game 6 on a curious decision. Calvin Pickard relegated back to the backup. He's been the harder to 2 goaltenders, which makes this decision very curious. Don't know what Edmonton is going to do with this, but if it pays out, this makes for a very interesting decision heading into a possible Game 7. Healthy scratchers Sam Carrick, Sam Gagner, and Troy Stetcher. Adam Henrique continues to be out with a lower body injury. Vancouver had a well-attended optional morning skate and were not expected to make any lineup changes following their 3-2 win in Game 5. So they're sticking with the same line they had in Game 5. 10 playoff games played for Ilya Mikheyev. He is out with a lower body injury. Expect the roof to come off the building here in Edmonton, Alberta, the capital of the province. The Oilers, heavily favored in this series. Vancouver is pushing them to the brink in defensive structure. Rick Tocchet turning around his team, this turnaround coming one step further to a complete turnaround. Interestingly enough, with the elimination of the Colorado Avalanche just yesterday, the final 5 teams remaining in the Stanley Cup playoffs have not won a Stanley Cup this century. The Dallas Stars' only cup came in 1999. The New York Rangers last won in 1994. The Oilers last won in 1990. Both the Florida Panthers and the Vancouver Canucks have never won the cup since their inceptions in 1993 and 1970, respectively. 3 games to 2 the series lead for Vancouver. Edmonton's trying to force a Game 7. The Oilers in the Connor McDavid era, 1-1 in Game 7s. The one loss to the Anaheim Ducks in 2017, West semifinal. The win coming against the LA Kings, 2022 West quarterfinal. Let's go Oilers chants here at Rogers Place. Not to be confused with Rogers Arena. The drums are lit up. Is that this land is Treaty 6 territory. Treaty number 6 signed on August 23rd, 1876 at Fort Carlton, Saskatchewan. The total area of the treaty stretches from western Alberta through Saskatchewan and into Manitoba, including 50 First Nations. Provisions in this treaty recognize the notion of the medicine chest as well as the right to education. The singing of O Canada, performed by Robert Clark and the Oilers faithful. And now the fans join it. Such a beautiful sight. And all the fans sing along in unison to O Canada. It's go time here in Edmonton. Both Stuart Skinner and Artur Shilovs manning their creases. Skinner back between the pipes. Last year in Game 6 against the Golden Knights, he's allowed 4 goals, 13 saves on 17 shots, was pulled after the second period. That was his only career start when facing elimination. How will he fare this time around against the Canucks? Shilovs in this postseason 5-3, 262 GAA, 907 save percentage. He's been carrying the load ever since he was named the starting goaltender for the Canucks. And his crease is safe, though the pressure's on Skinner to perform for the Oilers. Everything on the line for the McDavid and company. Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Evander Kane. The mainstays on the offense. And we have something here on the ice to begin with. So, that was cleaned out earlier. We're underway here. Edmonton, Alberta. Vancouver wins. They face Dallas in the Western Conference Final. Edmonton wins. As Shilovs, he's tied up. Edmonton tries to take it away. It's loose in front. Vancouver clears. Dangerous spot to play the puck for Shilovs. And it looks like he's going to get back to the crease safely. Pass intercepted by Miller and left on for Besser. Besser back inside. Pass cut away from Hronek. And cleared out. Just on the chip pass. Batted down. Besser gets this one on the backhand and deep for Darnell Nurse. He can use a turnaround here. He's been struggling mightily in the playoffs. He carries this one inside around for speed. Nurse puts one off of Shelovs. Is held inside on the Spinorama's Hyman at the near corner. Looks McDavid's direction, finds him. Tied up by Hronek. Ridden up the puck. Hughes intercepted. Nugent-Hopkins on the peak. Turnaround pass. Nothing there in front. Bouchard levels one. This one bouncing wide. Here's Ekholm on the keep. That's also over at the near corner. Bouchard can't hold it. It's back out to center for Ekholm, and Bouchard will fire it around again. Nurse has only 2 assists in the playoffs. Ekholm 3 goals, 3 assists. Bouchard 4 goals, 11 assists. Hyman around. Pass intended for McDavid. Lindholm was there. Hyman rushing to it. There's a loose stick on the ice. It's picked back up by Hronek. That was his stick. And he'll get it back for the Canucks. Clears this one all the way out. Bouchard will recollect. And the pass back for Ekholm. Bouchard again. In the first 95 seconds, here's the lead pass inside for Draisaitl. That's a bomb! And it exits out to center. That one going wide. 89 miles an hour officially on a shot. And what do we have here? Interference is going to be the call. Leon Draisaitl headed to the box. Vancouver going to the power play. Our referees, Garrett Rank, John Hebert, and our linesman, Shandor Alfonso, Johnny Murray. It was a really bad misplay by Artur Shelovs right behind the net. And Draisaitl, he bumped Connor Garland when Garland was going to go for a change. It uncalled for by Draisaitl to just bump Garland. What even was that? That wasn't even an intent to playing this one out. That wasn't even a smart play at all. 2 for interference. Draisaitl at the box. Here's Miller. Had this one skip right by him behind the net. Desharnais gets his one out. The Canucks will pick it back up at the Oiler logo. Hughes gets us inside. Left side for Miller at the left point. Looks. Was cut away. And Ekholm will get this back up. Matthias Ekholm looking. Vancouver's power play is 5 of 15. They have not converted on their last 7, however. 25 seconds gone on this power play. Here's Hughes. He'll start it from his own end. Hughes looks to drop back and does. Leading the way is Elias Pettersson. He's had a sluggish postseason, just 5 points. Skinner places one out over to the far side. Bouncing puck. Fogle was tied up. Vancouver keeps it. And picking this up is Cody Ceci, who will fire this one down the distance. 1 throw to go here on the power play, and Nurse will go off to the benches. Hughes will restart. Hughes will go left side. Moving it up is Miller. Miller leads the way. Toe drag around to the right side. Here's Spezza around the boards. And getting back over to left point in time was Hughes. Sending it back over around Garland. Here's Miller on the drop pass. Quinn Hughes sets up. Over to the left circle. At the bottom, near corner. And the bank pass around. Besser looks. Brock Besser shot. Reaches towards Skinner, who was tipped. And pushing and shoving right after the cover-up by Skinner. Ekholm and Miller going at it. And Miller's helmet was removed alongside Garland's. Garland's still going out with Desharnais. And they have not resolved anything between these two right now. The clock stops with 43 seconds on the man advantage. And Miller making sure that nothing else ensues. Miller tried to get this one in on the tap. Tried to deflect it. Skinner was there. And it was a slow-moving tap at the side of the net. Matthias Janmark joins Leon Draisaitl at the sin bin. Coincidental minors, we stay on the power play for Vancouver. Janmark and Miller, 2 each for roughing, they say. And it was Miller's helmet that got forcibly removed, and which would spark the roughing penalty against Janmark. And Miller retaliated, had some words for Janmark right afterwards. Yeah, a very heated game if this continues on. Rick Tocchet, his first full season as Canucks head coach, and the work he did, it's a complete turnaround. At the beginning of last year, he was at the studio, the NHL and TNT crew was called up by the Canucks. False star in the face-off, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins won it clean. They're going to roll it, a false start against Piers Suter. 43 seconds of power play time. It will come to Dakota Joshua to take this face-off in Suter's place. Suter can take face-offs. He's mostly utilized on the wing for Vancouver throughout the season. Everyone gets at the right circle. Hronek is out there. Hughes continues to be out there. Joshua and Suter out there. Extra man is Garland. Here's Hronek out the face-off win by Joshua. Tipped in front. That one sent wide off the post. Hronek goes back over to Hughes at the point. Now to the net. This one blocked in front. It's loose in the high slot. Edmonton backhands it on the air and gets it out. 25 on the man advantage as Sheilov sweeps it behind over to Hughes. To be blunt, I haven't had a chance to cover the Oilers in the playoffs for much. This is the first playoff game I've covered the Oilers. The bank pass off the skate of Joshua. He picks it up. Here's Hughes. That setup pass went off an Oiler. Edmonton gets it out as Hronek shoves aside his man. 5 on the power play, and most likely it's going to run out. Hughes is tired. He's at the end of his shift. Sure enough, he's going to come out onto the bench as Draisaitl's out the box. Hughes goes right. Nikita Zadorov setting things up. Zadorov fakes the pass. Boost ensuing here in Vancouver. For the right side, here is a quick shot that went wide. It's all the way out the center onto the Canucks end. Race for this puck. Tyler Myers is there. Away from Draisaitl who bumps him. And a turnover. Edmonton can't corral this one up. Moving for the near side is DiGiuseppe. DiGiuseppe around for the open Teddy Bluger. He'll send it around for the net. Tyler Myers almost banked this one off the stick. 15:40 to go in the first as Skinner covers it up. Connor Garland, 2 goals and 2 assists in this postseason. And I'll admit, it's thundering outside where I'm recording this at. Yeah, you have thunderstorms here. Stay safe, everyone. Hoping that I make it through tonight. Connor Garland going to start things up as he is on the third line side. Ian Cole out there, Teddy Bluger out there, Dakota Joshua out there. Draisaitl back on the bench. Nugent-Hopkins to take the face-off opposite Bluger. Chris Knobloch wanting an explanation from Garrett Rank, number 7 official. Bluger wins the face-off. It's back for Cole. Deep shot was tipped, and Skinner kicked it out. Oilers trying to clear. His glove down by Zadorov. Good location. Right behind the net. Bouchard picks it up away from Garland. Trying to get this one out. Is held in by Vancouver. Garland, tight shot as he was falling down. Skinner turned it away. Edmonton can't get it out once again as Holloway was tied up. Garland on the keep. Zadorov at the left point. Fires this one. This one off of Joshua. It'll be picked up by Holloway. Dylan Holloway on his backhand. Entry paid. Here's a 2-on-1. The drop pass. Nothing doing for Evan Bouchard. Just a bit too far behind. And Edmonton gets it back in their own zone out the takeaway. Lead pass again for Kane. He'll just bank this one in. Hughes is the first there. Right behind the net. Held inside by the Oilers. Cannot do much after that. Elias Lindholm moves it up over to Niels Höglander. Up for Lindholm, and this one went off the glove of Höglander. Desharnais and Höglander arrive simultaneously. Hyman's tied up at the near corner. Höglander shoved to the wall by Desharnais. Puck is poked loose. It's Edmonton with it. Draisaitl turns around and fires it over to the Vancouver end. Holloway is tied up by Hughes. Hughes tried to swing at it. He missed. Several pokes at it behind the net. It's corralled down by the Oilers. Back to the point. A bomb from Bouchard. This one does not go to the net. Here's Draisaitl, holds in the right circle. Draisaitl looks for options. Bouchard tries again. Doesn't go. And so be cleared out by the Canucks. They'll make some changes as they go at it. Bouchard couldn't send this one in. Draisaitl will have to try again. Bouchard around for Ekholm. Ekholm gets it in. Spinorama. Pettersson's right with him. Luke Slubber on the ice. That was Pettersson's stick. 17 shots of 90 miles an hour of Bouchard in the playoffs this year. A very impressive rocket shot for Bouchard, who is known for firing those howitzers from the point. That's the most in the NHL. Ryan McLeod. Tyler Myers shuts him up, but it's behind and Sheilov's. Bouchard can't hold this one in. Vancouver clears. Ekholm tried to swipe it forward. He does so. Eric Ryan tried to get this one away from Suter, but Suter swipes it off of him. Warren Foegele will reset from his own zone. 13:25 to go in the first. Drop pass to nobody for Foegele at the far corner at his own zone. So far, the shots are 3-1 Vancouver. Early in this first period, the power play may have helped out with it. More changes between both sides. Bouchard will start up to the far side on the entry pass. So does it go around. Sheilovs will play this one out. There's a broken stick over to the far side. Edmonton's tied up. That was Connor Brown. That is one knocked out. And the Oilers will have to restart again. 12:55 as Vancouver sees his one kept in off ground, but an errant stick. It's out. Oilers fired it around again. So far, they can't get any shots. The game is pretty much slowed down for the most part here. These last few minutes, just 3 shots for Vancouver, 1 for Edmonton. Nothing has changed this far. Here comes Connor McDavid to the right side for Zach Hyman. What can they do? Hyman fires. Shelov's made the stop. Just a second shot on goal for the Oilers. Fired inside off a deflection. And the Canucks will pick this one up. Here's Eamon. We'll send this one around and deep. DiGiuseppe moves around Desharnais. Desharnais pins DiGiuseppe towards the wall. Eamon around for Podkolzin. Podkolzin in front. Nothing there. Nugent-Hopkins made the stop. Now here's a foot race. Zach Hyman's going to wave off the icing. Hyman shoved towards the near corner wall. And Vancouver will pick this one up. At the sin bin side, DiGiuseppe had one turned away by Desharnais. Bouchard will send around. Desharnais again. More than 8 minutes gone in the first period. They're taking a Vancouver shot off the board. Bouchard will leave it up for Draisaitl. 8-4 the hits in favor of the Oilers. Here's Holloway. Holloway moving down. He's inside. He scores! Solo job! Dylan Holloway! McDavid has speed! 1-0 Edmonton! This was Dylan Holloway on the transition as he splits the defense all by himself, speeding past Filip Hronek. Everyone threw him, and there was nothing else that they could do. Holloway providing the speed that the Oilers have preached. That set up on the bank pass from Draisaitl at the Edmonton zone. And then it was all Holloway from there. First goal this series for him. Third of his career in the playoffs. What does Vancouver do on the answer back? 11:30 remains in the first. They're retreating back to their own zone. Soder will leave it over to the right side. When scoring first, the Oilers are 5-3 in the playoffs, despite being 31-9-3. Vancouver's around the center in front, isn't there? And that one's taken away behind the net. Feed pass over to the goal scorer Holloway. Here's Draisaitl. Is it his turn to score? He'll park at the near wall. Evan Bouchard. This one bounced off a body in front. Kane is tied up at the near corner. Derek Ryan arrives there behind the net. Cut away by Zadorov and off for Bluger. Daddy Bluger at the far side, skating up in the lane. Bluger spinorama. His shot was forced wide. And picking this one up, this is Ceci. Over to center ice. Foegele can't get this one in deep. But entering inside is Brett Kulak. Had it poked loose, but now he's behind the net. Kulak twisted and turned around. Kulak towards the near corner. Forced there. Vancouver gets it out for the moment. It's Ceci. Blasts this one inside at the far corner. A battle for this loose puck. Several whacks at it, and a race for this loose puck at the opposite corner. Foegele gets there, but Vancouver gets it out. We're nearly halfway in this first period. 10:20, the clock reads. Holloway the only goal. Lead pass up forward over to Foegele. Foegele sends it over right behind Shelov's crease. At the far side, Vancouver's running out the puck, but they get it back. Here's Suter. 1-on-2. He'll take this one in. That's Hoglander, rather. Hoglander spins around. He'll take a look, drop it back over to Pettersson. Pettersson, patience with his puck behind the net. Set him in front. Hoglander, he scores! The response! Niels Hoglander from Elias Pettersson. And we're tied. The Canucks fans are in Vancouver are loving this. Is all over the place. Would it be the Canucks fans here in Edmonton that have made it to the trip? It's Pettersson who makes an absolute fool out of Ryan McLeod. Finds Hoglander. One shot doesn't go, but a second crack at it as he got his own rebound right back from Stuart Skinner. Located over to the right side of where he was looking at. The initial shot was stopped. And the rebound tucked in, and congratulations to Hoglander. His first career playoff goal. Big hit by McDavid over the Vancouver end. Here's Ekholm controlling. Left side for Nugent-Hopkins. Right behind the net, here is McDavid. McDavid defeated front for Zach Hyman. Sheloff sets it all covered up. No sighting of Shaq Hyman right now with 9:37 left in the first period. But we have 2 goals in quick succession. Dylan Holloway, followed up by Niels Holglander. The goals coming a minute and 45 seconds apart. We'll be right back here in just a moment. Should Vancouver win tonight, they'll go on to face Dallas in the Western Conference Final. If it's Edmonton, we got Game 7 on Monday. Dylan Holloway, first goal of the series. Niels Holglander, first goal of his postseason career. Evan Bouchard had an overtime goal in Game 2 to even up the series at 1 game apiece. The Oilers are trying to do that again to even up the series at 3 games apiece. Vancouver sweeps it around as we're back into play. 9:28, this is an entry fee for Hyman. This one bounced off a stick. Canucks go right back with this. The pass is too far on the stretch pass from right behind the red line. We'll get icing with 9:22 left. They'll have a face-off over at the Canucks zone. So in the Oilers goals this postseason with McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice, 20 goals for, 5 against. When they're off, 5 for, 4 against. When Draisaitl on, McDavid off, 10 goals for, 11 against. With McDavid on, Draisaitl off, 5 for, 4 against. And with McDavid and Draisaitl off, 4 goals for, 11 goals against. It's pretty much telling about the top-end talent when McDavid and Draisaitl are on the ice at the same time. Top-heavy team, it says. 9:15 to go, first period. Vancouver looking to take the lead here in Game 6. Brock Besser spun around. This goes for Suter. Here's Suter, looks back at the point. Here's Tyler Myers. Bleach wants one, and the rebound is knocked off the post. Myers gets it over Besser. Besser turns around, fires wide. Evan Bouchard tries to clear, does so. And here comes Connor McDavid for the near side. McDavid, one-timer Bouchard. That one launched wide. 81 miles an hour, and a penalty's coming up here. It looks like another Edmonton penalty as it looks like Carson Soucy may have gone high-sticked. They're going to look for blood. In the midst of this high stick, anything? Doesn't look to be the case as of now, but there were 2 good looks for Vancouver to take their first lead. 2 minutes were high-sticking Connor McDavid. Fortunately, Soucy is all right. And Edmonton does not like that. The fans here don't like it. Soucy came over from the Seattle Kraken last year. The Kraken made it to the second round. A heavy upset over the Colorado Avalanche in the first round. Last year, the Avs were the defending Stanley Cup champions. The Canucks do not have any shots on goal on the power play. And when you don't get any shots on goal during that power play, it's obviously not going to translate at all. Second unit is out there on the ice to begin the man advantage. Soder, Joshua, Hronek, Garland, and interestingly, Quinn Hughes is quarterbacking the second power play unit. Here's Garland across. That one cut away. Edmonton tries to move it up. Joshua on the keep. Desharnais pins him over to the far corner. Still it's a battle for the puck in no man's land. Still it's trapped. Poke free. And all the way out it goes. Garland has to chase after it. Clock reads 8:20 in the first period. Garland moves around. Hughes will start up. Backpedaling. And spinning around. He's waiting for anyone to help him out. Now finds someone who can. Elias Pettersson moves up. Goes center. And onto the lane. Pettersson stick lifted several times. He gets it back. This bank pass doesn't work. And it'll be aired on out. Chasing after it is Hughes. Go collect this one up. Hughes with 112 on the man advantage. Leading the way is Besser, who'll drop it back again. Errant pass, and this will go all the way back for Shelovs, who just see this go in front for Hughes. Garland goes off on the ice. And here's Pettersson leading the way with 56 on the man advantage. Pettersson has 1 goal this postseason, 2 in his last 24 games. Not what he was wanting entering this postseason. Here's to the right side. JT Miller across for Besser. Brock Besser serving for the left circle. Chip pass over to Pettersson and back for Besser right back. Here's Pettersson. Gets it over for Hughes. Hughes around. Here's Miller sitting up. Back for Quinn Hughes. Besser. Hughes again. Here's Besser one more time. Across for Miller. JT Miller looking for something in front. Here's Hughes one more time. And then one time pass in front. This one went wide on Pettersson. Kept inside is JT Miller at the right side. Over to Lindholm. Lindholm sets up Miller. Lindholm across. That pass went all the way out. Intercepted and cleared out by Janmark. Limited time on this man advantage. Here's Besser inside for Miller. Miller will go up front for Lindholm. Strip loose. And out of the box is McDavid. 2 for 2 and the penalty kill is Edmonton. Draisaitl's out to the ice. Here is Besser behind the net. Brock Besser looks to survey up front. No shots in the first 2 power plays for the Canucks. Been pass. Tire skaters on the ice for Vancouver. McDavid fighting Draisaitl. Draisaitl, return feed. Not there. Bounced off a Canuck. 6:20 to go in the first period. Bouchard will recollect and backhanded over to Brett Kulak. Kulak sends it inside. This was too far in the stretch pass. They're the most dangerous wards. Some of the most dangerous wars there is. We're trying to send a bank pass up for the ice. 6:14 left first period. Face off at the Edmonton zone. Canucks make line changes. After that icing, they get the Blueger line out to the third line. They can score from all 4 lines. For the most part. Off this face-off, it's a tie-up. It will be landing onto Edmonton. And just offside are the Canucks. Connor Garland thought he was making a legal entry. But no, it wasn't. So many passes on the man advantage for the Canucks. Still, it's a 1-1 game. Early in Game 6. Still in the first period. 6:07 left. We'll go to break. Since the 2016 seasons, the Oilers have reached the playoffs in 6 of 9 years. 5 series win and just 1 Western Conference final appearance, that coming in 2022. They were swept by the eventual Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche that year. The Oilers, they defeated the LA Kings and the Calgary Flames on the way to the Western Conference final. Blogger and Draisaitl at the faceoff. It's Draisaitl winning it. And around this goes Matthias Ekholm will bank it around. Evan Bouchard sets up at his own near corner. Up front, here's Holloway, the goal scorer for Edmonton. Moved up front, and the entry feed bouncing around for Draisaitl. Set up in front, a one-timer, top of the left circle. That was blocked and out of play. 5:50 to go, first period. We're staying with you. That was Evander Kane on the one-timer that was blocked in front. No goal there. But going on to the netting, it was Connor Garland taking the shot. And also underway, game 6 between the Dallas Mavericks and the OKC Thunder. And that series is Western Conference Semifinals in the NBA playoffs this year. Winner will advance to face the winner of the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 7 of that series is tomorrow at 8 Eastern. Game 7 of the New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers is tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern in the afternoon. One Oiler goes down. McDavid jumps on the forecheck. There's a loose stick on the ice. And some of the fans are irate and thinking that should have been a slashing penalty. Here's Elias Pettersson sending his one inside. Bouchard was there. Vancouver keeps. Near corner. Phil DiGiuseppe being mercilessly, now it's Niels Höglander being mercilessly shoved by Bouchard around. And back this goes on the hold for Elias Lindholm, who goes around. Ekholm got in the way. 5:15 to go, first period. Höglander twisted and turned, forced away by Bouchard. Here's Lindholm again. From the left circle, looks to go around. Höglander behind the net, tied up by 2 Oilers. That allows Pettersson to pick this one up and backhand over to the point for Zadorov. Right side is Myers. Myers surveying down low over the far corner. Another shove. No jump on there by Bouchard. And a tight shot goes wide. Zadorov can't hold. It's all back at our center. Wide change for both sides. Here's Zadorov. Nikita Zadorov goes inside. There's a loose stick on the ice. Bouncing puck at the far corner. Tie up. Nils Aiman. Phil DiGiuseppe there. Low twig there. That was McDavid who gets it up. To the left side is Connor Brown. Brown moves it in deep. Up this goes. On the chase is Janmark. And back this goes. Here's Sam Carrick who backhands it down low. And a feed in front. Nobody there. Podkolzin got rid of the puck. Back this goes behind the net. Trying to feed it right over to the right side for Brown. Vancouver takes it away. And to get this one out was DiGiuseppe. Recollected by Desharnais with 4:10 to go in the first. Desharnais dangerously close to Stuart Skinner as he played this. Up to the right side for Brown. Brown looks for something and flips it in deep. 4 minutes to go and the shots are free apiece for both sides. Low shooting contest. Vancouver gets level when trying to send this through. Here's Carson Soucy inside. And no matter what happens here in this series, a Canadian team is guaranteed to make a Western Conference final appearance. And as poke up for this goes, here's Draisaitl to the inside, near corner on this dump in. Draisaitl, twisted and turned by Soucy. Zadorov bumped by Evander Kane. That keeps the puck in the Vancouver zone. Here's Kane, here's Draisaitl in front. Shilov shut it down. And a loose puck in front could not be held down. Vancouver gets it all the way to Edmonton ice. Soucy will pick it up. And Evan Bouchard almost had it. Draisaitl's a bit shaken up. He's going to the bench. Ryan McLeod is inside. Gets it over to the far corner. Tied up by Myers, poked away by Garland. Canucks have it again. Blogger in the far side. A break ensuing. Hand pass signaled. Offside the line, they say, actually. 3:02 remaining in the first period. And once again, it's very close as Draisaitl had this one potentially in the bag, but Shilov jumps on it. It was a bouncing puck as well. We'll be right back in just a moment. Must-win territory for the Edmonton Oilers here in Game 6. Chris Knobloch getting interviewed by Leah Hextall. ESPN is having some audio issues in the meantime. But with the clock reads 3:02 left in the first period after a hand pass by the Oilers. They have changed the ruling. They'll get a face-off afterwards. Draisaitl's on the bench. The Oilers have 6 shot attempts off the rush. The Canucks with 3. McDavid's out there on the ice. Both McDavid and Draisaitl being comfortable getting double shifted. Here for the Oilers, they're getting paid the big bucks to perform for this team in big numbers. Hyman ties up his man off the face-off. Recollected by the Oilers as Ekholm gets it out. Joshua backhands this one through. Glove down by Skinner and will be restarted by the Oilers. 2:48 to go in the first period. For the far side. This one deflected inside on the rush. Hughes is the first there behind the net. Hyman has to go back to defend. Now up front this goes. Bouncing puck. Bouchard is there. Here's Connor Garland back the other way. And this one's sent in for the goal. Skinner will play this one out. Bouchard will start up from his own zone. 2:28 to go. As Bouchard will look and cue the breakout. The right side for Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins parked at the near boards. Here's Bouchard's shot that went up high. Bouncing puck will be recollected by the Canucks. And now speeding up for the right side. Here's a breakout. And Skinner shuts it down. Little hesitation from Elias Lindholm off of the far side. 2:10 to go. First period. Lindholm was acquired at a month ahead of the trade deadline from the Calgary Flames. The Canucks acquiring Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov in 2 separate trades with the Flames. Should a 7th game happen, 9 p.m. Eastern Time is the start time at Vancouver. Teams up free turn the series. In best of 7, win the series 79% of the time. They're 7-0 this postseason. 2:05 remains here, first period. Vancouver 1, Edmonton 1. Sent up for the ice, and a bouncing puck will be recollected by Edmonton. The Oilers had the first goal, but the teams having the first goal of this series are 1-4. The only exception was Game 4, where the Oilers won that one. Signs may point to the Canucks winning this one, unless if there's a pattern that may skew that one back to the Edmonton side. Here's McLeod moving this one up to the far side for Derek Ryan, near side rather, and sends it over to Hronek. Philip Hronek bumped over the near corner. That was a big hit. And there's Quinn Hughes. Over to the point. Brock Besser knocked away. We stay 5-on-5 despite the bump on Hronek. Here is McLeod sending this one inside. And over to Hronek this goes. Hronek serving at the far side. Has Holloway with him. This bouncing puck up for Garland. Holloway was there. Then when Holloway moves it forward. And this will be recollected by Draisaitl as Holloway to his right side. Then when Holloway fires it, and a save by Shelovs with 1:03 left. If necessary, Game 7 will be at Vancouver Monday at 9 Eastern. In the Eastern Conference Final, the series will start on Wednesday at 8 Eastern. It's been decided that series, the New York Rangers hosting the Florida Panthers. First time the Panthers have to start a series on the road this postseason. That's because the Rangers have won the President's Trophy this year. Best team in the Eastern Conference by record. Tie up at the faceoff. We're in the final minute. Kane's shot blocked in front. Kept inside, and that was another block by Elias Pettersson. Did not go anywhere, that one. Here's a 3-on-2. Holloway stick with the Pettersson. And it's recollected by Bouchard. And this one got out of trouble. Here's Draisaitl to the left side. And moved up front. Another stick lift. Vancouver with this one now. 40 seconds remain here on the period. Twisted and turn on the entry with Pettersson. And here's Skinner who plays one out for Bouchard. Locates it to his right. Bouchard. Lindholm was on him. Just left it on behind for Draisaitl. And across this goes. Just 4 shots each by both teams in this period. Chipped inside on the dump in, but this goes out of play as it hit the safety netting. 21.4 seconds left in the first period. And over for the game, when there's not a lot of high-scoring action, the game is going to be a mental battle of wear and tear. If the focus can be there for both sides, if they can lock in, be on key with this game later down. Nugent-Hopkins and Bluger on a draw. Hyman and Joshua had to be separated. They were going at it with the sticks. Shandor Alfonso saw this, broke them up. 20 seconds, Susi across for Myers, and it's flipped down low. It's a bouncing puck. It was a bouncing puck from way behind the red line on the entry fee. Chris Knobloch has to be smiling at that, knowing that it's an icy with 15.5 seconds left. Offensive zone face-off for the Oilers. Who's going to get it? Bluger's going to stay out there because of the offside rules. Now they can get Draisaitl back onto the ice. He's out there with Hyman, Nurse, Bouchard, and McDavid. That's the scoring line. Draisaitl opposite Bluger again. This time to Shelov's right. McDavid at the right side. Hyman at the left side at the circle. On the outside of it, Joshua and Garland, the wings for the Canucks. Bump start, Draisaitl's tossed out, McDavid will come in. In a situation where Vancouver does not want to get another icing. Bluger gets the draw, but there's a tie-up over at the far corner. McDavid now behind the net. McDavid trying to get away from Teddy Bluger. 6 seconds. Bouncing puck over the point for Nurse. Deep shot goes around. Will be recollected by Draisaitl as he have one last shot. Here's Bouchard, a shot. Scores at the buzzer. No goal. They wave it off. Goaltender interference has been ruled under the ice, but we'll have to take a further look. Garrett immediately called off this goal, saying goaltender interference. We'll have to see this one again because they have just waved it off. So I don't know about this one because Bluger forces McDavid onto the net. And he gets quipped. How in the world did this one not go? So we'll have to see. So it's Bouchard who got the shot. So from the angle. So he gets quipped on through as Teddy Bluger. He did not go in on his own. He is in there already being forced by Bluger. That's the second straight game in which we've seen a controversial goaltender interference. And it's called a wiped off a goal. Are we going to get a challenge here or something? So the other, Johnny Baird is the other referee. So McDavid gets forced by Bluger in. The puck comes in with 0.8 seconds left. Zach Hyman was in there. It was Bluger gets forced into the crease. And Edmonton can't believe it. They're going into the first intermission tied 1-1 when it really should be a 2-1 score for the Oilers. And Oilers fans here are upset. They think this goal should have counted. Well, that was a very controversial call for what it's worth. We'll be back in just a moment for the first intermission. See you soon. So they made their reasoning for the goaltender interference, that being Connor McDavid already being in the crease at the time. He was skating on his own, but Teddy Bluger forcing him towards Artur Shilovs did not help matters at all. So it may be 2-1 Oilers. It could be argued, but it was a borderline call. But Dave Jackson know it was the right call, and which I'm very much divided about it. It was a polarizing no-goal call, as it looked like McDavid was forced by Bluger on first sight, but McDavid was already in the crease by the time when the time the puck was being shot. So that was no goal. So that's the reasoning. So we're in the first intermission. Now here we do. Dylan Holloway with his first goal of this series. He assists with Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. Draisaitl was 14th assist. Bouchard is 12th. Bouchard setting up Draisaitl, and Draisaitl on the lead pass with Holloway using his speed. A solo job as he made his way onto the net. That was McDavid-esque from Dylan Holloway as he split the defense on his own and tucked it past Shilovs. Nils Höglander on a second chance and shot had the other goal. Elias Pettersson set up from behind the net. It tied this one up. Filip Hronek had the other assist, his first of the playoffs. His first career playoff point as well. And it's not there. I believe it's not one of these guys that's onto the ice. It's Sam Carrick instead, who I believe was Corey Perry, who was previously believed to be in the lineup as we look through the team stats and the box score around. So far, with Höglander, second chance pokes at it. That's what caused the second line to thrive around between him, Pettersson, and Lindholm. Elias Lindholm, formerly with the Calgary Flames and the Carolina Hurricanes, is a 1-on-2 as he took it in on his own. So usually, that's a risky maneuver to go 1-on-2 up against the opposition, but he did so and tested the Oiler defense. As you look at the lineup cards, instead of Corey Perry, it is not him, it is Sam Carrick inserted into the lineup. Ryan McLeod gets faked out by Elias Pettersson on a little dipsy doodle at the near boards. It's a tough play for both sides around. It's tough to defend guys like Pettersson in these situations. With McLeod staying with Pettersson, nope. Pettersson fakes him out and makes him look like a fool. Darno Nurse can't get to him. McLeod can't get to him. Pettersson uses speed to go behind the net, then set up from Gretzky's office to find the open Höglander right in front. Team stats as we go around in this game. 4 shots apiece for both sides. It looked like the Oilers were leading 2-1. That goal was taken off because of goaltender interference, as they called, and more, one can argue that it's the right call. Hits are 18-14 Edmonton. The Canucks have taken 10 of the 18 faceoffs. Vancouver has also had 2 power play opportunities, but they did not get any shots on goal in either of the 2. Total penalties are 3-1 Edmonton. Offsetting minors was the only penalty in which Vancouver's taken. JT Miller, Matthias Janmark. Block shot 7-4 Canucks. Takeaways 2 apiece. Vancouver has 4 giveaways. Edmonton has 1. So the leader in the shots on goal thus far for both sides to look around. For the shots, Dylan Holloway has 2 shots. Darno Nurse has 1 shot. And the other shot taken by Zach Hyman for Edmonton. Vancouver leaned away as Nils Höglander with 2 shots. Dakota Joshua with 1. Elias Lindholm with 1. Yeah, it's a weird stat, knowing that we see the unexpected happening where nobody else has any more shots. Time on ice leaders, so look for both sides. Quinn Hughes leaned away with 843. Brock Besser, 808 among the forwards for Vancouver. For Edmonton, time on ice leaders, Evan Bouchard, 924. Connor McDavid, 757 as we look at his tracker. Zach Hyman, 752. Leon Draisaitl, 542. The one can attest to 2 penalties that he's taken, in which has hurt his time on ice. So far as we see, between the Thunder and the Mavericks, win for the Mavs sets them up in the Western Conference Final. They're second in 3 years. The Thunder win, they'll send it back to Oklahoma City for Game 7. The shooting percentages should be very telling. Dallas is shooting at a 57.1% clip. Oklahoma City, 38.5%. And although the Thunder, they came out on top 30-23 in the first quarter, Dallas is responding with a 19-10 run in the second quarter. The Mavs are taking a timeout. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 15 points this far for OKC. 6-11 shooting, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks on that side. Luka Doncic, 15 points, a very efficient 15 points as well. 5 of 6 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. And to help around him, Derrick Jones Jr. with 6 points. Josh Green with 6 points. And on the other way for OKC, Lou Dort with 9 points, leading that department. Jalen Williams with 7 points for OKC. Cap off the majority of scoring among the top 3. Dort, he also has 2 steals to go with that. Josh Giddey was benched. Isaiah Joe was inserted into the starting lineup with 3-pointers. So far, he is 1 for 4, 0 for 1 for 3-point land, just 2 points. 3 rebounds to go with that. Chet Holmgren, 5 points, but he is not have any rebounds at all. The team leader in rebounds, a three-way tie between Dort, Joe, and Giddey. 3 each. For the Mavericks, is 4 among the rebound leaders, that being for Daniel Gafford. Trade deadline acquisition for the Washington Wizards. So as we now go around here in the midst of this intermission, good chance to take a look at baseball for this current moment. So the NBA teams have been tracking this kind of stuff for years. On a recent article around. That's why load management could be the next biggest thing in baseball. It's written by Jesse Rogers, ESPN staff writer on the MLB baseball. So baseball might not be the first sport that comes to mind hearing the term load management. Teams are monitoring everything the players do, starting with the obvious. How much distance he has covered on a given night, on the base pass, and defensively on the field. Tracking also takes into account the small details going into the equation. How many times did a player take off from first base on a full count? How frequently did they dive for a ball into the infield? Everything helps teams get ahead of potential health problems or dips in information. At a time when analytics has become a standard element of every decision, optimizing player workload is seen as one of the few remaining areas teams can gain an edge. Technology has emerged to allow clubs to measure movement like never before. And the best information and how to communicate to players is on. What teams are learning every day, ESPN asked MLB executives, and by the way, we do have breaking news right now. Breaking news from Raleigh, North Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes are finalizing a contract extension for Rod Brindamore. He's reportedly agreeing to an extension with the Hurricanes as first broken out by ESPN's Kevin Weeks. So as he has his phone out for Twitter. So yeah, he has the tweets ready. So good news for the Canes and that they're keeping their coach. Continuity mattering on to keep the core around. There's no other sport that demands athletes take the field as often as professional baseball. MLB players are on task with constant running, but every movement adds up to cumulative fatigue over the length of the season. Each of those movements go cumulatively. The Padres track workloads for the players in running 30-day increments. But it's good news for the Hurricanes to get their head coach locked up on extension. Coming back, we'll have the second period between the Canucks and the Oilers. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned, everyone. it looked like it was the proper call from the notion that the ESPN broadcast is pulling. It's leaning towards here in Game 6, the Evan Bouchard no goal. So you go on forward. So next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, is a nice weekend in motorsports. So you have the Indianapolis 500, shortened down to Indy 500. In Indianapolis, Indiana, the speed capital of the United States, as they say. The Memorial Day itself. The Coca-Cola 600 in NASCAR. So the first one was IndyCar. The Coca-Cola 600 and a Memorial Day night at Charlotte Motor Speedway. At night, one of the prestigious events. It's a 600-mile race, 400 laps, as immediately we get an icing to start the second period. And also on Memorial Day, the Monaco Grand Prix in Formula One. No challenge by Chris Knobloch to begin with. It's an early icing against Vancouver as the Oilers and the Royal Blue jerseys going from right to left in the second period. Canucks in the road whites going from left to right in the second. Desharnais on the keep. Kicks it around, intended for Fogle. Vancouver gets this one out. They swoop right by. And the Oilers, they just let this one go. And they decide not to get this one down. Paul Coffey, defensive mastermind for the Oilers. And a multiple-time Stanley Cup champion with the Oilers back in the days of Wayne Gretzky. Another icing against the Canucks. The Oilers want the go-ahead goal here. Coffey has his number retired by the Oilers, the number 7. Around this goes Ryan P.S. Suter gets this one out. Almost confused with Ryan Suter, who plays with the Dallas Stars. It'll be a tongue twister here as Vancouver to get this in. JT Miller tied up by McDavid and Hyman. Ekholm there, but Hogwinter's trying to help out Miller. Around this goes over to the near side for Myers. Myers on the hold. Around back for Miller behind the net. JT Miller kicks it out over to the point for a deep shot that went wide. 18 hits to 14 Edmonton. No pass there for Edmonton as Hogwinter intercepts it. Hogwinter twists and turns. Pirouettes. Gets knocked down. Almost lost the puck there. Hyman swept it up front for McDavid and sends it right back. There's a loose stick on the ice. Draisaitl skating around for his own zone. Draisaitl for the near side for Ekholm. Ekholm launches this over to the far corner. Hronek will pick this one up. Draisaitl's on an 11-game point streak. He had assisted on the Holloway goal in the first period. Bank pass for Dakota Joshua. There's also a glove onto the ice of someone. Two players go down simultaneously. Joshua gets us back over to the left point. Here's Hronek holding on to this. Here's a deep shot deflected wide. Dakota Joshua gets to it. Joshua spins around. This one turned out of play. We're a minute 38 into the second period. But the physicality throughout this game has been noticeable. JT Miller and Evan Bouchard down the goal line as they're getting a shoving match with one another. His goes uncalled. And they're getting tangled up right by locking arms. Several shoves as well, and Stuart Skinner doesn't even get close to it. Off the face-off, there's a tie-up over the far corner. Pried free by Fogle, and around this goes out inside by Vancouver. Cole around. Behind the net is Eamon. Niels Eamon shove once. Lost the puck there. And Edmonton gets this one out over to their logo where Vancouver fires this back inside. Skinner out left side for Kulak. Tied up by Eamon and Podkolzin. And now moving up is Janmark. Janmark backhits this over to the point. But Vancouver can't get this one up one time. Now they do on the clear. Oilers want to establish momentum here in the second. Janmark canceled out. Near corner. Oh! Big cross check by Nikita Zadorov. That's an easy call. And you do not want to put the Oilers on the power play. Here they are now. Zadorov does not like the fact that Carrick was in his way. He's trying to plead his case, but there is no argument here. It is a cross check, and he'll have to sit for 2 minutes. Zadorov has been great in the postseason. Big, heavy cross check towards the boards by Zadorov on Carrick. That almost looked like the equivalent of a face mask penalty in NFL terms. Ooh. That was unwarranted for 2 minutes for holding, they're going to call it. It's not a cross-check, but it was so close to being a cross-check. False start in the face-off. We'll have to do this over again. Edmonton on the power play of the series, 5 for 10 in the first 4 games, 0 for 5 in Game 5. The first game without a power play goal in this postseason is something that they do so very well. And he wants to get back on the board on the man advantage. Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid, Hyman, Draisaitl, Bouchard. That's the top power play in it. Bouchard starts up for Nugent-Hopkins. Down lows McDavid. McDavid! Nugent-Hopkins picks up the loose puck after McDavid lost it. Nugent-Hopkins goes back to the point for Bouchard. Back for the Nuge. Around for McDavid. McDavid's shot almost blocked there, but it went up high. Bouchard fakes the one-timer. Draisaitl right circle. Here's McDavid back for Draisaitl. Fan on the shot. Got rid of the puck. And Vancouver almost got this one out. Can't do so. Hyman on the keep. Bouchard's bouncing puck over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl tied up by Blueger. Trying to get this one off. Does. And from the goal line, got around over to the far corner. Lindholm can't clear. Blueger tried to do so as well. It's held in. Nugent-Hopkins set it over for the open Draisaitl at the top of the left circle. Draisaitl holding on to it. Draisaitl, no lane there. Here's Nugent-Hopkins. Drop pass. Draisaitl, one-timer is fired wide and goes over to the far corner. The Nuge behind the net. Can't pick this one up. And do we have a call here? No, we don't. There could have been a slash very easily against Vancouver as Oilers fans were wanting another penalty as the Oilers are back inside with McDavid right at the near corner, finding Nugent-Hopkins. The Nuge goes back over to Bouchard. Now RNH again. Down over McDavid. McDavid can't beat out Shilovs right now. Here's Bouchard over to the open man. Can't get this one to go. Vancouver now with this puck, seemingly for the first time on the penalty kill. 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Bouchard's tied up. Helping against McDavid. McDavid, tail end of his shift. He's exhausted. Connor McDavid right on the far side. He's doing an ailment here, and that was blocked out of Shilovs. 17 seconds left on the man advantage as we get the stoppage of play. And McDavid is very bothered knowing that wasn't a slashing penalty. As he frets the needle right on Shilovs. And there's another one, a sacrificial body in front that was Cole blocked the shot. Ian Cole has won multiple Stanley Cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins. It could have easily been a slashing call. Cole, reliable defensive presence. The many teams that he's bounced around. McDavid's last 3 games, just 1 assist, 10 shots. Giveaway here. Here's Fogle. Down around for the near corner. Several tie-ups around. Fogle shot towards the wall by Pettersson, rid of the puck. McLeod can't get to it. Here's Vancouver. He'll just fire this one down and run out the rest of the power play. So the first power play does not go for Edmonton. How many more chances will they get here before they finally crack open? Cody Ceci. For the far side, McLeod, entry fee on the drop pass. Here's Fogle back from McLeod. Tough angle shot. Shilovs fought it off. McLeod shot over Fogle. Calmly blocker that one away by Shilovs, and Fogle can't get it. 7-4 now the shots in favor of Edmonton. It was deadlocked at 4-piece for so long. Hronek back around and moved up front. Soder finding the open JT Miller. Soder got a ride from Janmark and a shove on Besser by Carrick. Miller has it again. Edmonton can't clear. Miller double teamed. Sends this one down low over to Besser. Besser stick-licked it several times. Back down low for P.S. Suter. Suter works it out over to Cole. Cole at the near corner. Back for Suter. Suter right the net. Back for Cole. On the outside. Cole towards the net. That's blocked in front. Back to the point. Here's Quinn Hughes walking around. Hughes' shot. Stopped by Skinner. He'll hold it up. No rebound. They're stewing here as he was thrust onto the goal here in Game 6. Not tested a lot. The Oilers win in transition on a sharp angle shot. And a good job on a lateral pass right down low for Edmonton and Hughes towards the net. I don't know if that was a deflection. It might have been. Skinner, regardless on all the way, it was Besser providing the screen nonetheless in front. Save, no rebound. We're tied 1-1. 14:42 remains here in the second period. Goals from Dylan Holloway and Niels Höglander a minute 45 apart. First goal at the 8:18 mark at the first. Second goal at the 10:03 mark. Blueger and Draisaitl. It is Blueger on the face-off, but gets pickpocketed immediately. Kay at the far side. He has Holloway with him. The shot was blocked. Zadorov tried to get this one all the way out. Can't do it. Oilers on the keep. Race for this puck. And Holloway quips Quinn Hughes. We say 5-on-5, however. The Canucks on a nice breakout. Garland fires around over to Bluger. Kulak got there first. Chopped around for the ice. The Oilers get it up. Kane can't handle the puck. And offside called. 14-11, they stop the play. It's a one-on-one matchup between Kane and Zadorov. Physicality against physicality. Edmonton has physicality of their own with Vinny Desharnais, who's out there on the ice right now. Matthias is Ekholm also providing said physicality on the defensive side. A two-way defenseman acquired from the Nashville Predators. Carson Soucy out there on the ice. He's with Tyler Myers. McLeod back there. Several log jams on this faceoff as Lindholm winning it. We're to the far side. That might have been too far on the stretch pass. But that was deflected in, they say. 6 minutes gone here in the second period. Hoglander falls backwards. Oilers pick this one up around as McLeod lightly off the Canucks bench. And the Canucks will pick this one up. Here's Myers through the near boards. This one's deflected inside. Skinner places one out. Skinner behind his crease. Hoglander waiting at the front if there's a mistake happening. And here come the Oilers. One more time. Here's a drop pass. And a total drag by Warren Foegele to the net. Sheilov shut it down. Trying to draw another penalty there. And up for the ice. Here come the Canucks. Here's JT Miller. The drop pass over to Hoglander. Hoglander's shot. Courageous block by the Oilers. Skinner does not have to worry about that shot as it did not go all the way through. Thanks to a block. Bouchard's shot. Stopped by Sheilov's. Almost lost the puck. But he covers it up. With 13-14 left to go in the second period. Almost could have been scooped up by Bouchard. And several drop passes around with Foegele. Say his way on to Sheilov's. Now power move. No shot, they say. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Rick Tocchet wants to extinguish the fuel at the Edmonton Oilers have provided here in games 2 and 4. The Oilers want to send this to a game 7 at Vancouver. Will be the third career game 7 for Connor McDavid. As the Canucks win this face-off, but Ekholm is on the hold. On the opposite side, it's Miller the first there. Back over to the far corner. McDavid tried to rush there to keep this one in. Canucks get this one out. It's Ekholm twisting and turning to fire this one through. Canucks picked it back up. But McDavid finding it wide open with Zach Hyman. And a save by Artur Shelovs. Nugent-Hopkins on the keep around. McDavid on for Hyman. Hyman fires. Score! And this one counts! Shaq Hyman from the slot. 2-1 Edmonton. The hold by Connor McDavid. An initial shot by Hyman. And another outstanding play by McDavid to set up the open Hyman, who was wide open. This trickled off the glove and the left pad of Shelov's. He got 90% of this. Once again, he got 90% of it. Took a bounce up and over and made its way onto the net. Hyman from McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins. His 10th of the playoffs. A goal scorer ever since he came over to the Oilers. He's been showing it here. 2-1 to lead. 29th career playoff goal for Hyman. His 10 goals are the most in the NHL in the playoffs. So, farewell on that part, on the two-way tie with him and Valeri Nichushkin. He breaks that two-way tie for first. Nichushkin is out until November as he's facing a 6-month suspension. Here's Janmark, and his bomb did not go anywhere. Janmark, loose puck in front. Brown tried to tuck it through, can't do so. Stick lifted. Brown around. Back at the point is Nurse. Nurse waits for it. Now finds the open Brown. Brown's shot hit his skate. That was Pettersson. What will he do? Top line out there for Vancouver. He lost the puck. And now here's Darno Nurse. Nurse moves it through and sends it on for Shelov's. Shelov's will leave it to his left side for Cole. Cole goes down. So does Dylan Holloway. Cole back up with this as he gets back on his feet. Vancouver clears, and this will be rolling for an icing. The shot's 12-5. Edmonton. Hyman with his postseason leading 10th goal in the playoffs. Another goal gets Edmonton on top, and that's a smart play around. And to keep the spacing and get away from the Vancouver defenders. Presents his stick to make himself available. And eventually, that's the goal that gets them through. 2-1, the Oilers lead. And sent inside off a skate of Evander Kane. Offside it is. 11:30 to go. Second period. And the crowd thundering, chanting, "Let's go Oilers." They're all set up now outside of Vancouver end. Draisaitl at the faceoff. CC blasts this one over to the near corner. Draisaitl on the keep. Can't do it here. Here's Connor Garland for the near side. Hustling onto him is Kulak to force the send around for the near boards. Recollected the far corner by the Oilers. Secured and on for the right circle. Edmonton sets it down. From Kulak. Quinn Hughes is the first there. Draisaitl trying to get this one away from Hughes. Hughes decked off the puck. Now over the far side is Connor Garland. Garland find the open. Filip Hronek, his shot, and Skinner's down. Skinner gets ran into. Friendly fire by Cody Ceci. So no penalty. Here's Dakota Joshua, a nice move right behind the net. Near corner. Forced wide by Kulak. And back over to left point. Here's Susi. Susi shot wide. And that one out. Up in the netting. 10:37 to go. Second period. Skinner has not been tested thus far. He only had to face 5 shots. But that was the 6th shot that he has faced. Arthur Sheila is facing 12 shots, stopping 10 of them. Skinner stopped 5 of 6 Vancouver shots. And more of a low shooting contest, and the name of the game has been more defense. A tight checking defensive effort from both sides. Connor McDavid on the bench for this sequence. It's this setup for Zach Hyman that got his team the lead. A tough save just as when Ceci was running right onto Skinner. Edmonton dodged the bullet there. Faceoff is at the right of Skinner. It's going to be Edmonton winning this one. The fourth line Vancouver's on. Jumping onto it, however, is Podkolzin. Podkolzin at the near corner. Shoved towards the wall by Carrick. The fourth line of Edmonton also out there is McLeod to the right side. Here's Darno Nurse. Nurse up for McLeod and around for Carrick. Carrick fires one wide. And the first there is Podkolzin. Podkolzin lifts this one all the way out. We recollect at center ice. Advanced further by the Oilers for a split second before it's recollected by Zadorov. Hughes is back deep. Sent up front. Let's go Oilers chance here in Edmonton among the blue and orange. That's the uniform colors of the Oilers. Canucks and the white and blue. No breakout for the Oilers right now, but moving it up is Fogle, who fired this one wide intentionally. Hughes is the first there at the far corner. Ryan ties him up, but Vancouver gets it out again. Ekholm over to Bouchard. Bouchard, fan on the pass, but helping is McDavid. Here comes the Wizard. McDavid off for Matthias Ekholm. Headshot, a rebound. Nothing there. And around to the far side, racing to the right point is Bouchard on the keep. This shot towards the net, bounced off a Canuck. McDavid tied up. Gets this one over to the near corner. Hyman, the recent goal scorer. Hyman at the left circle, spinning around, surveying for options. The official goes to the other side. Hyman has Hughes on him. Hyman trying to get out. Nugent-Hopkins over to Ekholm. Now here's Bouchard. McDavid. Crisscross they go. Connor McDavid spins around, trying to activate. His pass off a Canuck. Can't get anything out of this. And Vancouver clears. A deflection on this puck. Advanced further. Bouchard was on the Canucks' face. Ekholm gets it out of trouble. In comes McDavid again. Legal entry. McDavid waits for help. McDavid gets out. Oh, Hyman's shot. Bounced off the outside of the post and off Shilov's. McDavid keeps it alive. Here's Bouchard. Winds one up. Scores! A Bouchard rocket! Get the Oilers up too! As John Buccigross noted, it's a Bush bomb. They've heard of the Quef bombs when Oscar Quefbaum was with the Oilers. That's a Bush bomb. A quick activation. Bouchard firing this one long straight away. That was a bullet shot. Off the spin. Shilovs reacted too late to this. Who else can stop Bush bombs like that? 88 miles an hour, officially the speed of the Bouchard slapper. 12th career playoff goal for him, 5th this postseason. Learned under the tutelage of Duncan Keith. Offside are the Oilers. Bouchard has learned well in the mentorship of Keith in his rookie year. Switching to number 2 after Keith retired. Hyman got the Oilers the lead. Bouchard extended it to 2 goals. We'll be right back in just a moment from Rogers Place and the Mosh Pit. Two goals in a span of 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Connor McDavid, a little upset knowing that the goaltender interference call wiped off the Evan Bouchard goal. How did the Oilers respond? 2 goals in the second period. Hyman, partially tied up, snuck it through a slim window between Shilov's glove and left pad. They get this right through and get the Oilers the lead. At the 7:14 mark, McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins had the assist. McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins also had the assist on the Evan Bouchard 50-footer. And here's Evander Kane inside. Shilovs had to turn that one aside. 2 goals in 4:06. That's what ESPN is officially noting as I'm looking for the stat sheet. Far corner. Draisaitl tied up. Vancouver takes it away. Here's a 4-on-2 now. Inside this goes. Here, the first there is JT Miller. Kulak stood him up. Had it poked away from it, and the Oilers will get this one through. Centered up through, and the right side here is Ceci. Cody Ceci to the outside. Ceci around the boards. Nothing there for him. Holloway keeps one alive over to Ceci, who is still over at the far corner. Right down low is Kane behind that. Kane's shot could not be tucked in. This bounced over to Shelovs, who'll cover. So far, it's been a party here in Edmonton, the house that Wayne Gretzky made famous. But it's that's the Northwinds Coliseum, actually. This is the house that Connor McDavid has made famous. Most of the history for the Oilers has been made over at the Northwinds Coliseum, previously known as the Rexall Place. There are all sorts of emotions here running for the playoffs. There's anger. There's thrill. There's heartbreak. There's jubilation. All sorts of them you can feel in playoff hockey. 7:40 to go here. The second period. Oilers lead 3-1. Vancouver leads the series 3-2. Hughes can't get this through. It's a foot race for the puck. Shelovs has to retreat back to his crease to cover it up. Otherwise, that would have been in the way of game penalty. He was way out. And seeing the Oilers getting onto him, he had to retreat back. And he did so just in time to hold up. Tomorrow, it'll be the Pacers and Knicks Game 7 at Madison Square Garden at 3:30 Eastern Time. Be followed up by the Nuggets and the Timberwolves 8 Eastern at Ball Arena. Excuse me. Avalanche fans saw their season end at the hands of the Dallas Stars, notably at the hands of their former player, Matt Duchene, in a double overtime thriller. The longest game of this year's postseason. We have not seen a game this year go to a third overtime just yet. We don't know if there's one going to come. Off the face-off, it's Vancouver. Carson Soucy to the left. The Canucks are trying to move this one through and respond here. Get some sort of momentum. Here's Tyler Myers. Gets stood up at the near corner. McLeod spun around. Vancouver on the keep. Joshua twisted and turned. This was shot from Miller. Could not get it on for Skinner. And a shove for Miller by Nurse. Here's a long shot in front. That was tipped in front. It bounces over to the far corner. Near corner, rather. Garland wants in his next goal. So do the rest of the Canucks. Myers waits. Now he takes it. It bounces off a leg. Warren Foegele with this one. Has Quinn Hughes on him. And Foegele will shoot around. Shelovs behind his crease. He'll lead behind. In precarious territory. No penalties called just yet in this second period. 5 comeback wins this postseason. The third most in Vancouver history. 6 in 1982 and 2011. And we have a penalty. Just when we were discussing about no penalties in the second period, Connor Garland is heated. And I had to correct myself. We do have a penalty. We had a penalty earlier. That was Nikita Zadorov for holding Sam Carrick. Now Garland both served 2 minutes in the box. Pressure rising here for Vancouver to answer back. 2 minutes for roughing as he got testy with Evan Bouchard, and Bouchard will stay out there. Darnell Nurse was initially hit behind the play. Garland retaliated with something of his own and got sick of. He stood up Kulak and put Kulak in a headlock, trying to generate something. Oilers fans saw it, the refs saw it, the officials saw it, and that earns him a trip to the sin bin. Can't retaliate like that, as they say. Draisaitl off the face-off wins it. Bouchard across. Here's Nugent-Hopkins. We'll see if there's a power play goal here. Pass out in front. Nothing there. And a steal here by McDavid. Nugent-Hopkins. He'll set up Bouchard. And the pass back for the Nuge. Now Lotus goes for Draisaitl. Draisaitl. Sharp shot. Shelovs stopped it. And around this goes over to Bouchard past the Nuge. Back down low for Hyman. This circled by the Nuge. And racing to this puck is McDavid. Got twisted by Cole. Cole trying to get something here shorthanded. Cole. Poke loose. Stolen away. Here comes Nugent-Hopkins. Carrying this one in. The drop pass for Draisaitl. This one fired inside. This one went out of play. 5:58 to go. Second period. Draisaitl wants to get more here for the Oilers. But do remember, the most dangerous lead is a 2-goal lead. The Carolina Hurricanes noticed well. Chris Kreider won one of the greatest individual efforts in New York Rangers playoff history in Game 6 in the third period with a natural hat trick. A face-off win by JT Miller, and the Canucks get it out. Skinner is going to lead this behind for Bouchard, and Bouchard's going to activate up. Connor McDavid waits behind. The drop pass, and here comes the speed, like Lightning McQueen. The left side casually passes over to Nugent-Hopkins. Another drop pass over to Bouchard. Across for Draisaitl, and another penalty is going to come up against Vancouver. We'll have a 5-on-3. Hyman got high-sticked. They'll check for blood now. He lost the stick in the process. It's going to be a minor. No 4-minute double minor against Dakota Joshua. Look at this. There's a tie-up. Yeah, he gets the high stick up high on Hyman. It ended up costing Vancouver, and now the Oilers have 55 seconds of 5-on-3 time. They're on the 2-man advantage. Ken Holland watching from upstairs. Hyman's still out there, toughing this one out. Garland will spend 55 more seconds in the box. And after that, it's 5-on-4 where we go back on 2 unless the Oilers score on the 5-on-3. Draisaitl is tossed out. McDavid will take his place. Elias Lindholm on the faceoff down the other way. Lindholm wins it. And a clear, sacrificial effort by Draisaitl to hold. McDavid, Draisaitl. Back for McDavid. Left point. McDavid sets up. As he turns around. Down low is the Nuge. Step in front for Hyman. Soucy sat on it. That helped out Shilovs. Puck frozen of 5:17. 41 seconds remain on the 5-on-3. The McDavid casting it down low. Draisaitl just held his one as Soucy slipped and fell down, lost an edge. Looks like you're sliding down. And now we have a face-off win by the Oilers as Bouchard walking. Back for McDavid. McDavid down low. Crisscross pass. One-timer Draisaitl. That one fired wide. Nuge on the hold. Draisaitl. Draisaitl surveying. Going to pass across. When Avalega has reached McDavid. McDavid back over to Bouchard. Bouchard fakes the one-timer. Tic-tac-toe. That one cleared down by the Canucks. While passing, Skinner will play this one through over Bouchard. Bouchard moves it up. Here comes McDavid to the left. Nugent-Hopkins going to look. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins send it back over to Bouchard. Bouchard, McDavid tipped in front by Hyman. That one went off to the boards. Connor Garland back onto the ice. Pass too far. The racing Garland there. Kept in front by Nugent-Hopkins. No shot in there. Now it's back over to left point by Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins again. Going to pass it down low for McDavid. McDavid serving. Far side now. Around for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl still out there on the ice. Pass intercepted. Cut away. McDavid gets back onto it. Bloger intercepted that pass. Now here's the entry feed over to Draisaitl. Far side he looks. Draisaitl surveys both passing lanes. Now goes around. McDavid all the way across. McDavid lost it for a moment. Got it back from Bouchard. McDavid, one-timer Draisaitl hit the side of the cage. High in the air, stays in play. Here's McDavid. Back for Bouchard. Bouchard has shot. That's a rocket. Went up high. Is it still in play? Yes, it is. It's still in play. The puck is free. Swept over to the point. Bouchard from Hyman. And the power play winding down here. Pass down low. Still on the boards. In play. Vancouver killed off this 5-on-3. Here is Bouchard again. Bouchard's shot. That was blocked off of Garland. Draisaitl on the keep. Draisaitl. On the drop pass, we have some fresh legs. Quick shot, trickles through. Vancouver saves a goal. In turn, they iced this. Vancouver's not able to change. Philip Hronek saves a goal. Absolute warriors on the ice. The penalty kill, so clutch for the Canucks, trying to get back into this game. All the way back across. Shilov's got there on time. And a drop pass over to Darnell Nurse. And it bounced off of him. And that was Hronek who gets this one down. Valiant effort from him to clear. 3:12 to go in the second period. Oilers leading 3-1 in this game. The McLeod line is on. Tie up on the draw. Vancouver trying to get this out. Tyler Myers desperately needs a change. And here they come. Here's Bluger. Left side, here's a long shot. That's gloved by Miller. And a still chance rain down here in Edmonton. Then the Canucks can finally get a change. The Oilers seeing everything go their way so far in the second period. Final 3 minutes when we come back here. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned. Three minutes to go here in the second period. Oilers leading 3-1 here in this Western Conference semifinal series. Sam Carrick is on the faceoff for the Oilers. Canucks willing to get back and tie this one up. The New York Rangers were able to do so in Game 6 against the Hurricanes to get back and win in regulation. It's doable for the Canucks. Zadorov tied up by McLeod. Vogel also got there. Racing towards the Suter. Suter advances this one forward. JT Miller on the bounce outside of his stick. Miller gets swept off his feet. Vancouver on the keep. There's a penalty coming up against Edmonton. Here's Hughes. Extra attackers out there for the Canucks. Gonna be a tripping penalty. Suter will hold his one out, and here is Zadorov on the hold. Pass across for Quinn Hughes. Hughes down low at the far boards. Now boards across over to Zadorov, from Miller to Zadorov, and now here's Hughes walking the point. Backhand just went around for Zadorov. And back out for the point. Here's Hughes. Now shot was not there, and the Oilers touch up. And Vancouver to the power play. It's Derek Ryan called for tripping. They're going to call it hooking, rather. It's a flip sweep and a hook as that took away JT Miller's legs. I thought it was tripping as Miller's legs got taken off by Ryan. Defensive centerpiece for the Oilers. He's going to spend 2 minutes in the box. Canucks wanted to get to their formation in rather quickly to get back on the power play. They do not have any shots on the man advantage thus far tonight. 0 for 2 is the direct result. Wenham on the faceoff. He has Patterson, Miller, Besser, and Hughes. It's the Oilers on the draw. They send this one down. They have Ekholm still out there on the ice. There's a 16-second differential between the power play clock and the game clock. 2 minutes to go in the period. And the left side is Pettersson, who sends one aside. Miller going back over to Pettersson. Pettersson sweeping this one around. The Oilers got there first. And it's Matthias Janmark, who is also tied up. Janmark still with this. Besser tried to poke this one free. Desharnais and Ekholm also there. Miller there too. More shoves towards this puck. Still trapped in no man's land. Wild scrum at it. And it's back over to left point for Hughes. Quinn Hughes holding onto it. Here's JT Miller. Rips one. And that went over to the back wall. Pettersson pinned by Desharnais. And once again it's in no man's land. Quickly poked free. Oilers clear. 1:23 to play in the period. 18-8 the shots in favor of Edmonton. Hughes going right side over to Elias Lindholm, and the lead pass forward to Pettersson. Pettersson, and another penalty coming up against Edmonton. What is the call this time? Looked like it could be too many men on the ice. It is too many men on the ice. It's a little frustration by Chris Knobloch. Silent frustration it is, as we had to take the count. You can only have 4 players on the penalty kill. It's a huge mental mistake by the Oilers. And the Canucks are going to use their timeout early on in the second period, wanting to get their power play back on track. And count the bodies. Philip Hronek seeing it. He was the first to notice this, and the officials noted that. So, Rick Tocchet and everyone is going up. See how everyone should go up. So there's 5 players on the ice for Edmonton. One was way out the bench at the time of the penalty. So at that point, Mattias Ekholm just got onto the bench. This caused a lot of confusion. Bad time for a mistake. And here's a huge opportunity for the Canucks to capitalize on it. Score here. I still have 5-on-4 time. 56 more minutes and 56 more seconds of 5-on-3. Mark Stewart trying to get a plan here. Zach Hyman's going to get to the box to serve the 2-minute minor. And the Oilers win the faceoff. Canucks can't keep, but they bring it up at center ice. Pettersson on the near boards on the entry. We're in the last minute of the second period. A drop pass doesn't work, but the Oiler falls down. Here's Hughes. Hughes. Canucks looking for the first shot on the power play. Pettersson can't do it here. Ekholm ties up Besser, but it lands onto the stick of JT Miller along the wall. Hughes at the right point. Back for Miller. Miller down low over to Lindholm. Besser sets up at the front. Here's Hughes. Waiting. Now shooting. That's wide. That went off of Skinner and it goes out. Exactly 36 seconds to go in the second period. And it looked like it was going to be some one-timers on the play. And there's a blocker save by Skinner as he reacted to it quickly. He directed out. 20 seconds of 5-on-3 time. Nugent-Hopkins out there with Ekholm and Desharnais. A variant of Narco by Timmy Trump is being played here in Edmonton. Quick face-off win by the Oilers. No shot is held around as there's a tic-tac-toe. They're setting up at the front. Back this goes with Quinn Hughes. The one-timer was tipped wide. Around this goes. 6 on the 5-on-3. Pettersson lost the handle for a moment and then goes across. Quick slapper in front. Besser, tip in front. Nothing there. The 5-on-3 over. Here's Nugent-Hopkins. Here's a short-handed break. Just out of the reach of Derek Ryan. He gets it back, however. Ryan now behind the net. Ryan waiting for support. Out in front. Here's Janmark. Janmark holding on to it. And there will not be any more shots to end out the second. What a period it is for the Edmonton Oilers on a roller coaster of events. Valiant penalty killing by these Oilers. They still have several more time to kill off the other penalty. That was the 2-minute man on the ice. They have killed off 1 minute 12 seconds off that penalty. They still have to kill off the other 48 seconds of that penalty. On to the third period. The Oilers and Fuego here in the second period. The question now, can they hold on to it? Second intermission coming soon here on the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned, everyone. For one team, the second period has been all sorts of things. For the other, they just want to have an answer in the third. It's the Oilers scoring both goals in the second period. Zach Hyman from Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Evan Bouchard from Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. For both sides, McDavid has 2 assists, 3 shots. It is McDavid's impact that has been elevating the Oilers. Set up for Hyman at the slot. If Hyman threading the smallest of needles. Bouchard with a rocket from the point. Both beat out Artur Shilovs to make this a 3-1 hockey game. But if one game that I broadcasted before can say so, the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. The Hurricanes had to experience this in Game 6 against the New York Rangers. In an elimination game for them, the Rangers in their third straight closeout game of that series, Chris Kreider took matters on his own hands, scoring a natural hat trick. Rangers won 5-3. Kreider had the goal that brought them to within 1, the tying goal, and the game-winning goal. Barclay Goodrow at the insurance marker on the empty netter. And as we go into the second intermission, Alec Nava here. So as we go on to the team stats, the shots have since been lopsided in favor of the Oilers ever since it was a low shooting game. 18 for Edmonton, 9 for Vancouver. So if you count how many shots in the second period it was for the Oilers, 14 for them. Initially, it was a 4-4 deadlock in that first period in the shots on goal. That Hyman shot took a wacky bounce off of Shilovs and it went inside. How in the world? And one of the wackiest goals that you'll ever see. Hits are 35-26 Oilers. The Canucks have taken 24 to 44 faceoffs. Neither team have scored in the power play. They're combined 0 for 7. Vancouver's 0 for 4. Edmonton 0 for 3. Among the block shots, 16 for Vancouver, 8 for Edmonton. Takeaways 5-3. Edmonton, it's been careless giveaway after careless giveaway for the Canucks, but it's been killing them. 8 for the Canucks, 3 for the Oilers. Zach Hyman, we nickname a Shaq Hyman at the NHL on TNT booth. Some crossovers between the NHL on TNT and inside the NBA, which is on their final season this year before everything shifts over to the NBA on NBC. We could be seeing more of Mike Tirico on the mic for the NBC side. He did make the switch from ESPN to NBC. The broadcasting, now he's the lead broadcaster on the NBC side for the NFL on NBC. Who knows if he's going to be the lead broadcaster for the NBA on NBC as well. So as we go on through the reset for the other goals around, back in the first period, he had 2 goals in 1:45 seconds. Dylan Holloway from Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. Niels Höglander from Elias Pettersson and Philip Hronek for Edmonton and Vancouver, respectively. And then as we look at the quick shot from Bouchard, a rocket from the point all the way from there and a beat Shilovs 88 miles an hour. And no chance for Shilovs to get that stop. It's not too late for the Canucks to get back into this game. Then again, they did come back from down 4-1 in Game 1 to win 5-4 in regulation. They scored 4 unanswered goals all the way back. Hunter the Lynx celebrating outside the mosh pit. If you look back at Game 1 of this series, the Oilers got goals from Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm, Cody Ceci, and Hyman again. Dakota Joshua at the one between Ekholm and Ceci. Hyman and Ekholm in the first. Ceci and Hyman in the second. With the Ceci and Hyman goals separated by 45 seconds. Then it was Elias Lindholm to bring Vancouver within 1. Or 2 rather. And Dakota Joshua and Carson Soucy. JT Miller brought Vancouver within 1. Midway in the third, Brock Besser and Soucy at the assist. Then it's Nikita Zadorov tying it up. Teddy Bluger and Niels Höglander. 2 goals for the Canucks in a span of less than 40 seconds. 2 goals in 39 seconds. Connor Garland from Joshua and Zadorov to get Vancouver the lead for good. And that was in Game 1. Game 2, the only game of this series to have ever gone to overtime. And we've seen games in which it was decided on heroics by several players left and right. Game 1 was Garland. Game 2 was Evan Bouchard in overtime. Elias Pettersson at the power play goal in the first period. Leon Draisaitl answered on the power play in the first. Brock Besser in the second. Matthias Ekholm in the second as well. Zadorov in the second of Game 2. McDavid tied it up in the third period. That's the second of just 2 goals he's had in the playoffs right now. Hyman and Draisaitl have the assist on the McDavid goal. Draisaitl and McDavid the assist on the Bouchard goal. Game 3 saw the series shift over to Edmonton. And it's been back and forth. That's the game in which Stuart Skinner was pulled. Edmonton got to within 1, but that was all they can muster in the third. 3 first period goals was the difference. Elias went home and 2 from Brock Besser. After a power play goal from Ekholm, then another from Draisaitl. Lindholm had a power play goal, his second in the second period. And then Bouchard in the third period to draw Edmonton within 1. But that was all that Edmonton could really do. Lindholm had goals in the first and second period, both on the man advantage. Late game heroics, the name of the games in games 4 and 5. Both were in regulation. Leon Draisaitl on the power play in the first period, then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the second period. At even strength, Garland and Joshua, both in the third period. Joshua tying it up in the third, deflecting Brock Besser's shot. They tied it up at 2. Initially, I thought it was Besser. It turned out to be Joshua. Then a minute and 2 seconds afterwards, Evan Bouchard from the top of the slot, from Draisaitl and Evander Kane. They get the Oilers to win with 39 seconds remaining. It's a 3-2 victory there. And Game 5 is more late game heroics. This time, it is Vancouver's turn for late game heroics. Goals from unlikely sources was the name of the game for both teams. Evander Kane was expected for some. That's his third goal. And around we have some first-timers in the playoffs this year. Carson Soucy is first. Matthias Janmark is first. Both in the first period. And those 2 goals coming in a span of 23 seconds. 2-1 the Oilers led after 1 in that frame. Phil DiGiuseppe with his first career playoff goal to tie it at 2. 5:14 in the second period. No assists in the first 2 Vancouver goals until with the winner with 31.9 seconds remaining. JT Miller from Elias Lindholm and Elias Pettersson. They break the deadlock, and Vancouver got the win 3-2. Here in Game 6, it's a 3-1 Oilers lead. And you take a look in the meantime at the Thunder and Mavericks. The Thunder have to lead 94-88. However, they led by as many as 16 points. Or rather, 18 points. 75-58 was the largest. 17 points rather. 75-58 was the largest lead for the Thunder in this game. The Mavericks are staging a comeback, however. Do not count them out. 35-26 running the third. Helped Dallas to get to the spot. And now they're going at it here in this fourth quarter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 28 points, 7 assists, 2 blocks, 3 rebounds, and 33 minutes played, 11-21 shooting, leading the way for OKC. Jalen Williams with 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Now it's a 4-point game in favor to have Dallas cut that to in that spot. Williams, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. 17 for Chet Holmgren, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. On the other way, Luka Doncic, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, a near triple-double, 2 steals. So among the Vancouver Canucks, on the third period comeback wins, they have 3, the most among playoff teams. So if anyone were to stage a comeback, it's certainly the Canucks here. Derek Jones Jr. with 20 in that Mavs Thunder game. Kyrie Irving with 16, but a very inefficient 16 points. Doncic 8-12. So when we come back, we'll have the third period with you here on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Can Edmonton hang on, or will Vancouver come back and take the victory? Find out when we return. I'm Alec Nava. See you soon. Third period set to go. Vancouver is free. Third period comebacks here. And these playoffs looking about another one. So we're soon to start off. We're 1 minute away from the start. 2 goals in the second period. For the Oilers, Zach Hyman, Evan Bouchard. Both assisted by Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Edmonton wanting to get loud here on his third period. Wanting to control this one through every facet of this game. Stuart Skinner hasn't been tested as much, but he's made this routine saves that he has to make. 8 of 9. He's been sharp in assists. He sealed off the 5-hole. Inserted his stops. Artur Shilovs has been rather on Artur Shilovs like here in this game. But the second goal was not his fault. And the third one, that was a bullet shot. For the most part. And don't get it wrong. That was a bullet shot from Bouchard. So the Oilers start off left to right in the third period, but the Canucks are on the power play. Sent inside off of Skinner. Will lead over Day. Held inside by Lindholm. 26 on the man advantage. Right sider's Besser. Knocked away. Patterson. Clutch keep. At the right side. Fired around for the headboards. Around for Quinn Hughes. Near corner. Back around. Lindholm again. Fired down low. Or it's Miller. Had it knocked away. And trying to get this one now. Brock Besser can't get it. To hold it in. Nugent-Hopkins will just fire this one through. And this one's out of the net. And out of play. 44 seconds in. And most likely, we're going to see another power play come to an end for the Canucks. Zach Hyman ready to get out of the box. 9 shots tonight, tied for the fewest for 2 periods of the season in the postseason. The 19 tonight with the shot attempts off the rush. SWAT shot attempts 17-11, Edmonton. Hits are 36-26, Edmonton as well. So we're back underway. Vancouver's in the zone. Can't get things up to go. Here come the Oilers. 2-on-2. Here is Draisaitl across for McDavid. Can't get it there on a cross. Draisaitl with the near corner. Surveys. Stokes are going back for Bouchard. Back around. A shove towards the near corner by Tyler Myers. Vancouver gets it out. And a race for this puck. Picked up by Edmonton. Here's McDavid dropping back. And a skate-o-rama right around between Ekholm and Bouchard. 99 points in 60 games in Draisaitl's playoff career. 39 goals, 60 assists. A goal scorer that he's evolved into. But the Oilers have really responded here. Shilovs dangerously into traffic. Plays this one out. And nice handle by Cody Ceci to move this through over to Nurse. And that one out of play onto the benches. 1:43 into the third. You get back into 5-on-5 action. Quinn Hughes back on the ice for the Canucks. JT Miller, Elias Pettersson out there. They're playing numb by Lincoln Park at Rogers Place. Stuart Skinner onto his left. JT Miller on the draw. They're waiting for the puck to be dropped. And it's won by the Canucks. Once again, here's Hughes across. Philip Peroni, bouncing puck in front, went wide the net. Miller picks it up. Miller says one on through. That one tied up for Pettersson. Kane gets it out. And here comes a 2-on-1. Trouble on the way for Vancouver. Here's Draisaitl. Shoots it. That's wide. Holloway tried to get this on the rebound. Can't do it as we're 2 minutes in deep. Shilovs hold it up. Shilovs was able to fight this 2-on-1 opportunity off. An odd man rush. Draisaitl holds it. And it's Shilovs. I didn't know where it was, but it landed onto the breadbasket of Shilovs. He places one perfectly and holds onto it on the 5-hole. He didn't know where it was as well, but got it back just in time. Off the face-off, here come the Oilers. Here's Darno. Nurse's shot. That was blocked. Ryan's rebound. Could not get the shot away on the back end. Vancouver's tied up. Can't get this one out. Cole recollects. Cole moves it forward. Near takeaway by the Oilers. Canucks will get this backwards. Zadorov now with this. He's around to the far side, moving up through the ice. Connor Garwin offside on the entry was Joshua. Did not get this one through. It'll be a face-off outside at center ice. We're 2:24 into the third. So far, it's a curious decision to start Stuart Skinner. So far, kind of is working. Even though Skinner is not getting tested too much. By the way, for an update on Thunder Mavs, 103-100 is the current scoreline in favor of the Thunder, though Derek Lively cut it to within 3 of an assist from Kyrie Irving on a 2-foot hook. Chet Holmgren called for a shooting foul, and back it is Shelovs is taking it away over to Vancouver. Watching is Janmark. Sends it deep, where is Cece who gets this one up. Far side, it is Hogwander who's tied up. Pettersson down at the far corner. Around on the back end. Nobody at the left point. And all the way back to the Vancouver zone this goes. Hughes will restart. Hughes and Carrick get Kawhi onto Shelovs. Wide contact. And sent back in by Edmonton onto the Vancouver zone. Holding on to his Hronek to the right side. Moving down through the side is Brock Besser. Or rather Connor Garwin, who just swaps one onto Skinner. And a buzzing shot. Had a lot of sizzle onto it. Skinner holds on. Covers up. And just remember, tomorrow we have 2 NBA Game 7s. Looks like we're going to be leaving Nuggets Timberwolves for Game 7 on the next broadcast. If this goes to a Game 7, John and I will be on the call. Game 7. Start time, if necessary, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. 8 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. 19-10, the shots on goal in favor of Edmonton. Face-off is won by the Oilers, whipped it out all the way to center, and here comes Zach Hyman. Matchup 1-on-1, Myers won that 1-on-1 battle. Back at the center ice, advancing this is Bloger. Edmonton was there, all over it. Fogle enters, this rather Connor McDavid. McDavid to the net, scores! The Nuge gets loose in Edmonton! 4-1. The entry by McDavid starting this one up as he cuts up in front, finding Nugent-Hopkins, who was mostly tied up by the Vancouver defense. Baits out Tyler Myers onto the outside. Nugent-Hopkins gets it his loose puck and taps this through just enough to get it by Shelovs. What a game it's been for the Oilers. What a night. It's an assist hat trick for McDavid. 13th career playoff goal for the Nuge for this postseason. Darnell Nurse back with us to the far side. And here comes a partial break for Nugent-Hopkins. Forced to the outside by Eamon. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins over to Darnell Nurse. Nurse, short side, up and around. Ceci on the hold from the near boards. Down low is Carrick, who gets tied up. Connor Brown gets it, a loose puck at the far corner. Back for Nurse. Now here's Ceci. Ceci looks, fires it. Shelovs hangs on to it. Had a little trouble there, but Shelovs does not look confident. If Patrick Demko becomes available in Game 7, what do you do if you're Vancouver if this final whistle holds? This time is McDavid who beats out Nugent-Hopkins. The trademark feed right in front over to the Nuge, the longest tenured Oiler of this bunch. Strong bottom-handed guy. And the Oilers up 3 goals. 1 assist in the last 3 games for McDavid. He has 3 assists tonight. Shot through the heart. And you're to blame. You give love a bad name as they're singing along in Edmonton. Brock Besser around from behind the net onto the right point. Fire back around. Hit the cage. Besser can't hold it. Suter cannot either. Here's Draisaitl, 3-on-2 developing here. Left side, here's Evander Kane. The trailer for Ceci. The one-timer not there for Holloway. The Canucks bowling back. Miller sends it through, and Vancouver changes. Kulak holds. Edmonton also changes forward units. 21-10 the shots on goal for the Oilers. Kulak holding on to it some more. Takes his turn with this slapper. And offside on the entry, it's Fogle. But it's a loud ruckus of "Let's go Oilers" chants. Yeah, and given the fact that they were up 4-1, also keep in mind, they were also up 4-1 in Game 1 as well. They blew that lead and lost 5-4. That was the 8th time that they lost a free goal lead in a playoff game. The most in NHL history. A day after the Stars had their 7th ever blown free goal lead in a loss in the playoffs. Vancouver trying to break out. Holglander sent around. First to it was Nurse. There are no Nurse around Pedersen. They're on the far side. Several shoves around there. Ryan gets it out. Vancouver corrals this one up front. From center ice, fired around. Oh, this was on the way offside against Vancouver, they say. So that gives Nurse some more room to maneuver. Up and around. By the way, the Dallas Mavericks are within 3. Derek Wiley having scored the last 4 points. Missed pass up for Connor Brown. Hronek back with this. Up for the middle is Teddy Bluger. Airs this one over to the far corner. Skinner played this one out. Rushed by Joshua from behind. Several collisions there. Friendly fire between Joshua and his teammate. Left side. Here come the Oilers. Pass for McDavid cut off by Hronek. And it goes behind for Hyman. Hyman looks to go down low. Held at the point. Up and around this goes. McDavid. Their side. Backhand pass. Nothing there as Bluger was in the way. Nugent-Hopkins intercepted that feed. On the keep. Backhands it around. Over to McDavid. McDavid trying to create something here. Pass around. Nothing there as well. McDavid will try again. And do it here. And it's Vancouver picking this one up. Trying to exit their own zone. And by the way, the Mavericks have the lead as Luka Doncic getting them up 107-105 with 3:39 left in the fourth. Quinn Hughes back behind Artur Shilovs. Some fans banging the glass here. Mavs trying to end this series tonight. Vasily Podkolzin enters the zone. Through the far side on Kulak. Podkolzin gets it out over to Myers. Myers' long shot was blocked. Here's a break. Leon Draisaitl. Watch out. Stick left. Oh, big collision. Onto the net, which knocked it loose. Is this going to be a penalty? Or is it going to be a penalty shot? Draisaitl is clearly shaken up. Down on his 2 legs. He's down on one knee. He's able to make this one up. We'll be back in just a moment. Draisaitl at a break. Myers tied him up and driven him towards the net at the right post. Fortunately, he's okay. Not much more on that. We'll be right back. So on one end, we have domination by the Oilers. On the other, we have a tight contested basketball game between the Mavericks and the Thunder. But the Oilers and Canucks are bringing all the excitement onto this. Edmonton staying alive for the most part. And barring another blown 4-1 lead, the Oilers are going to take this over to Game 7, which will be in Vancouver on Monday. 9 Eastern at night is the start time. Here we go. Here come the Oilers as they fight around. Shiwas plays it out over to Cole. Cole trying to get this one out, and this one's forced all the way out. Janmark on the backhand over to center ice. Decked over at the wall. Connor Brown spins and turns this one inside. Race for this puck. Cole was the first one there, but Carrick keeps his one in. On the backhand, right behind. Several stick taps on it. Connor Brown all over the Canucks. So is Sam Carrick. Janmark around. Nobody there at the near side. Now racing onto a CC who gets plastered by DiGiuseppe. Keeping his helmet on. Loose puck still. Carrick tied up. Gets it free. And along the face-off dot as well as this one bouncing around. Cleared out. All the way out to the Oilers end, where they restart. If there's going to be any adjustments by Rick Tocchet's team, they have to do it right now if they want to spark a potential comeback. Left side, here's Bouchard saying it's down in. Shiwas thought about playing this one out. Had second thoughts. Here on the right side, nearly intercepted, but Vancouver's careful enough to play this. On through, this goes off Suter. Edmonton says it's icy, and they will get that called their way. 115-110, the lead now for the Mavericks. In the meantime, Derek Jones Jr., 12 feet out on the mid-range shot. As Dallas is looking to end that series tonight. The Stars ended the series against the Colorado Avalanche at 2 in the morning just earlier today. The game started at 10 p.m. Eastern yesterday and at 2 in the morning today. And around here come the Oilers trying to keep this in on the offensive zone draw after they won that one. Canucks trying to clear is Quinn Hughes who gets tied up. Up around is McDavid. Behind it, Hyman. Swept out in front for Nugent-Hopkins. The Nuge pinned towards the wall by Hughes. And on the way out is Suter. Bouncing puck to the right side. Miller picks it up towards his own bench. Miller sends it backwards. Hronek now. And I think Tocchet is going to start double shifting some guys more and more all throughout this game, knowing that they're down big again. Every game of the series has been a 1-goal game. And this game may be the only exception. Skinner gets this one all the way to the near boards. A foul by PJ Washington in the meantime could tie this one up for OKC. 115-113, the Mavs lead. SGA with a 24-foot three-pointer as the Oilers ice it. So Monday night, we'll have the final game of the conference semifinals. The Eastern Conference Final between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. Western Conference Final, the Dallas Stars and the winner of this series between the Canucks and the Oilers. Oilers looking to stay alive. Canucks looking to end this tonight, but it's looking slimmer and slimmer that the Canucks end this one tonight. Canucks poke this one forward. The Oilers get this one back. Ryan's tied up. Bounced around Fogle and sent inside. Carson Soucy right behind his net away from Ryan and sent up forward. McLeod chopped at it. Here's Pettersson. One of the Oilers lost this edge. Darno Nurse away from Elias Pettersson. Vinny Desharnais starting up now for McLeod. The deep pass. And all the way back to Vancouver's own end. Zadorov's is the first there. A shot from Kane. But Zadorov left it for Cole on time. Up this goes. Zadorov for the far side. Now up this goes. Tries to center this one through. Can't do it now. And out the other way, here comes Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl to the left side. Nothing there is doing. Holloway fires it. Whacked out in front. Nothing there. Kane tried to send it backwards. A tie-up is loose. And picked up by Holloway. But the game's first goal of Game 6. Cody Cece's back in. Drops it back over to Draisaitl to right circle. Another drop pass over to Holloway. Draisaitl sharp angle shot. Nowhere close. Draisaitl will defer it over this time around. Several stick chops at the way there at the near corner. And helping out Evander Kane was Draisaitl. On protect. And Vancouver clears. Sam Carrick out there. Phil DiGiuseppe is in. Vancouver needing something. Pass out in front. That went wide of Amon. Susie holds it in. DiGiuseppe back behind the net. Looking for something here. Long shot. That went wide. Susie on the hold. Left circle. Along the near corner now. And around this goes over to Besser. Besser being double shifted by Rick Tocchet. Behind the net, DiGiuseppe. DiGiuseppe continuing to look around. Behind the net, over to Besser. Brock Besser away from Cody Ceci at the point. And forced out once the Canucks. Good defense by the Oilers. This may be their best defensive game in this series. Canucks are just on side. That was Quinn Hughes. At the near corner, Besser centers one up. It's back at the point for Tyler Myers. Long shot, tipped in front. It went over towards Skinner. O'Macy will have a save in this game. Hughes now has room around to maneuver. At the left point, forced there. At the right side, JT Miller. Long shot, blocked in front, bouncing up behind the net. Soder now behind Drew. Center up front, nothing there. Hughes holds. Left side is Miller. Miller fires, saved by Skinner. His biggest of the night. His 12th of the game. And the 13th shot for Vancouver. The Stanley Cup playoffs continuing on. Game 6 of this Western Conference semifinal series. We'll return in just a moment. Oilers have been in this situation before. Back in Game 6 against the LA Kings in 2022. The Oilers responded kind and with their backs against the wall, putting on their best performance of the season, forcing the Game 7. The Oilers won Game 7 against the Kings 2-0. Oh, we have the blue men and answer for the green men. Well, Leon Dry is wearing some Leon Draisaitl chains. Quinn Hughes' shot tipped in front. Ceci swept away the rebound. And this puck is kept in. Here's Hughes walking along. Here's Hronek now. Philip Hronek finding Quinn Hughes. Walking along the point. Wide open is Lindholm. His shot up high. Back behind net. Nurse swept it away, but Pettersson jumps onto it to keep this one down low behind the net. Hoglander over Pettersson. Pettersson right circle. Off the post on that shot. Pettersson goes back over to the point. And going out with Cody Ceci. Here's Hughes now at the point. Hronek to the right side. That one-timer found out by Pettersson. Hoglander can't get to this. Now he can. At the slot. Lindholm turns around and fires wide. So, some good shits for the Canucks, but it's not getting on pucks on net. This one got onto Skinner. Anders' rebound swept away. Now it's out of danger for Edmonton. They're playing a defensive game now. This one tipped in on the clear. Connor McDavid to the bench. Hronek now over to the other side. Assist on for the away there as Quinn Hughes sends it through. And the Dallas Mavericks are going to the Western Conference Final. 117-116, your final score. Here's Evan Bouchard. He parks at the top of the left circle. Bouncing puck now behind the net. As to go on to the final stats later on when we get a stoppage. Dakota Joshua is at his own zone. Tied up behind the Chihuahuas now. Over to Cole. Ian Cole activates up. Deflected in by Connor Garland. This one went out of play. So now we get a stoppage. It's Luka Doncic. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. A triple-double. And also helped out by Derek Lively with 12 points and 15 rebounds off the bench. Derek Jones Jr., 22 points. Kyrie Irving, also 22 points. And Irving improves to 14-0 in closeout games in his NBA career. The Thunder gave him a test, but Doncic helped him out with a very efficient 29 points, 9 of 15 shooting. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way with 36 points, 8 assists, 14-25. Oilers score off the faceoff! Evander Kane! Living on a prayer! Halfway there! Taking their hands! Leading them there! 5-1! A quick face-off win. Leon Draisaitl wins it back. And a quick rip by Evander Kane. The same way they got beat in overtime against the Winnipeg Jets 3 years ago in the first round in Game 3. There's several screens. Kane, far side, several screens. Wow! No chance for Shelovs to see that, as he did not even see this puck come to him. Crowd is on their feet. They're 6:45 away from a Game 7. The only game of this series to not be decided by one goal. Here comes Vancouver through the far side. And around his goes Skinner behind his net. Phil Giuseppe back out in front. Here's and Cole. That's a stop by Stuart Skinner. Just 15 shots on goal for the Canucks. Now that's the 16th. Only one's made it past Skinner. Giuseppe spinning and turning around. Behind the net, it is Podkolzin who got stripped loose. Darnell Nurse back behind for Vinny Desharnais. And then back. Once again, it's 36 points for SGA. 8 assists on the losing effort. Jalen Williams with 22 points. 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Chet Holmgren, 21 points. 3 rebounds, 2 steals. All the way down low as Shelovs plays it behind net over to Hronek. Up front this goes. Bouncing puck. This one off an Oiler. Off of Connor McDavid. Hits him off the helmet. Behind Stuart Skinner's crease. Several pokes around. And a little cross-check. Nothing called there. The Oilers are basically seeing the refs swallow their whistles here in this third period. There's pretty much not a lot of activity. The Oilers can pretty much coast this one home now. It's 5-1 to score. And the only game that has not been decided by one goal unless we get an improbable miracle. Here's Hughes spinning around. We're the near boards. CC breaks up the pass intended for Besser. Back out, it's a quick snapper. All the way wide to the near corner. Back out to the point. Hronek just hold it in. Around back this goes between him and one other. Back around this goes left goal. Shot for Hronek and a quick save by Skinner. And they're stewing here some more. 4:50 to go until it's official. Giuseppe got fooled out. And around for Cody Ceci. In a hypothetical Game 7, it becomes an interesting decision. Artur Shelovs is your guy. From what the belief is from John Buccigross and Kevin Weeks here in the ESPN crew in Game 6. And a shot by Nurse. 2 saves by Shelovs. One on the initial shot by Nurse, the other on the rebound. Kane, the goal scorer, is out there. PJ Washington at the winning free throws for the Mavs in the final seconds. The Thunder used up their timeout on a challenge. 4:10 to go. Let's go Oilers chants at their loudest here in Edmonton, Alberta. Onside is Teddy Bluger. Feet out in front. This bouncing puck went right by. Garland shoved towards the wall. 4 minutes left here. Susie held this one inside. Bouncing along with the glass. Tyler Myers can't jump to it. Here's Warren Fogle trying to crisscross Myers. Myers stood with him, and Fogle goes for a ride. Held inside by the Oilers. Quick shot. Backhander. Across from a crowd. He wanted that one. And his stick gets broken in the process. He wanted that goal to get the route on. Could have been 6-1. It's been all Oilers here in this Game 6. Bedlam here at Rogers Place. Cody Ceci around for Derek Ryan. He sent to his side. A madhouse. Sam Carrick rushes Philip Hronek and off with a broken stick of McLeod that was out there. Carrick will keep this one in through from the pass from Brown. Far corner. Carrick shoved towards the wall. Hronek there. Janmark pries it free. Bouncing puck up in the air. 3 minutes to go until we get a Game 7. Quinn Hughes is back behind Arthur Shelovs. Rushed. Now at the near side. Moved up front. Forward, this is Lindholm. Canucks trying to carry something, anything, for Game 7. Because this has been complete slaughter in Game 6. Shots are 28-16, Edmonton, here in Game 6. Hughes holds on. We'll get the silver up front. The third Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, pretty much inevitable now. And a quick shot from Kane. Bounced off of Shelovs. 2:18 to go. Holding this is Nurse. Backhands it through over to McLeod. Hold for Holloway, and back around this goes. Off of McLeod's broken stick, he has a new one with him. Out inside. This is dangerous. At the left circle, McLeod advances further. Last 2 minutes of action. Zadorov pins McLeod on for the wall. Holloway on the hold. Over for Brett Kulak. Now we have Nikita Zadorov and Evander Kane going at it. No drop gloves here. We have seen the most excitement for this crowd here from the goals. Now we have one from these two going at each other's throats. And their night's maybe pretty much done here. Yeah, Podkolzin going at it with who I believe was the Oiler in front of Desharnais. Don't have a number on it, but Desharnais is grabbing onto Niels Amon. And one other Canuck, that's Podkolzin. Brett Kulak is with Podkolzin. Gloves are removed. Desharnais is grabbing onto two Canucks and carrying them like he's the Hulk. But Amon on a headlock. Sidorov's night is done. Zadorov getting the excitement here for the Canucks. Kane is going to be escorted out by the officials. His night's over. Oilers fans on their feet, knowing that they have forced Game 7. And then more exit out. One career playoff point for Leon Draisaitl. That was a quick snapshot by Kane to the far side of the net. Glove side through several screens. Shelovs can't even see it. And for sure, Oilers fans are playing in their hands up in the air, saying, "Ayo, baby, let's go." See what I did there? Third fewest games to one career playoff points in NHL history. For Wayne Gretzky, it took 46. Mario Lemieux took 50. Two assists, one shot, 17:32 of time on ice. We have the official verdict from the referees. Some weird decisions possibly on the horizon for the Oilers. Who they can go to. John Denver, sung along by the Oilers faithful at Rogers Place. Take Me Home, Country Roads. Such an iconic song. A legendary rendition by Oilers faithful. Sam Carrick having some words with John Hebert. Here's a ribeye steak thrown onto the ice. And the Oilers fans are feasting nicely tonight. More ribeye steak. Funny I say this because this past Monday I had some ribeye steak myself. Over at Outback Steakhouse. Calvin Pickard is watching onwards for the benches. Chris Knobloch having some words with Garrett Rank in the meantime for some clarification, Kane, Desharnais, Zadorov, and Podkolzin are all out. Their nights are over. But for Kane and Desharnais, they'll be waiting for their teammates at the locker room to celebrate tonight before they prepare for Game 7. Ian Coles chopped this one around. Final 1 seconds. And Vancouver looks to get this one out. It's some misconducts around all over the place. Fourth them. Holglander gets 2 minutes. Some coincidental penalties as well. Tyler Myers, back his own zone. Tied up. And moved up front. Here's Ceci. And who knows who's going to win Game 7 when nothing is certain here in Game 7. These are the two best wars. The uncertainty, the drama, everything surrounding the hype, and all sorts of Game 7s. 1:05 left to go in the third. And Darnell Nurse is motioning. Last minute until we have Game 7. Fans on their feet, knowing that this is all but guaranteed. 50 seconds. Joshua had a strip loose. Poke further. Fans waving their pom-poms here. And Edmonton, the orange ones. We've seen similar pom-poms at Ball Arena, whereas the Avalanche fans. Final stats. Whereas the Oilers out shooting the Canucks 27-15 at this current rate. Edmonton may likely want to run this out. The rest of this clock, they're not intended shooting at the net. 20 seconds left. Vancouver and Edmonton will be watching closely. All of Canada will be watching as they want to see either one of these teams break the curse of 1993, the last year in which a Canadian team has won a Stanley Cup. The two best wars in sports. Game 7 on Monday. They can play La Bamba here in Edmonton. And of course, they are going to give muchas gracias to the Oilers if they pull off this victory into Game 7 for Connor McDavid's third career Game 7. The only series in the conference semifinals to go to Game 7, the third Game 7 of this postseason. It's up until now, which every game has been decided by one goal. And that's going to be all here from Edmonton. Scoring summary. Dylan Holloway from Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. Nils Höglander from Elias Pettersson and Philip Hronek. Zach Hyman from Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Bouchard from McDavid and Danuge. Danuge from McDavid and Bouchard. And Evander Kane from Leon Draisaitl. That's going to do it here tonight. I'm Alec Nava saying so long from Rogers Place. Have a good night, everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves for the NBA playoffs. Game 7 of that series coming to you tomorrow.